Hello, good afternoon, morning, evening, everybody. Welcome to the Two Gamer Dads podcast, episode 29, closing on the ever so close episode 30. Today is 1st of August. First, we just want to apologize for, I think it's been quite a long break between. No, I think I apologize every podcast now, right, Marv?
Yeah, we went from twice a month to once a month. Sometimes now
Yeah,
once every 2 months.
yeah, maybe that's what we should. Maybe we should just reduce the frequency of no lah. But I think we will have a lot of stuff to talk about. Eventually, there's a bunch of events that's coming up, so we'll see that. But anyway, as usual, just a quick introduction. We're the Two Gamer Dads podcast. Uh, as the name suggests, we are two gamer dads. My name is Ian, and with me is Marv.
Hello.
And today we have a special guest, as always, a guest that we have never had on before, so totally brand new. We have Kai. Hi, Kai.
Hello, hi
Hello, hello.
everybody. Hello, hello.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Kai. Okay, so Kai is acquaintance, friend of Marv's. I don't really know Kai, although I guess I kind of knew Kai before. Maybe I knew of Kai before before Marv met him, but maybe just to so that people and for me to know as well. Maybe just introduce a little bit about yourself. Maybe don't even get into the gamer part of it first. Just maybe introduce yourself, what you do, and your family, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm Kai Hong. I actually have 3 kids now, so maybe that's why I qualify, as a gamer dad.
You overqualify, bro. Overqualify.
Overqualify. I've already fulfilled my KPIs for the nation building.
Yeah, man, replacement rate
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Father of three daughters, 6 years old, 4 years old, and now turning 11 months soon. Is it? No, 10 months. Okay, so I lost count.
Damn.
October. Okay, but anyway,
Once you
time
hit two,
flies,
it doesn't
man.
matter.
Yeah, yeah, man. So we we wanted to stop at two, but somehow the third one popped out. So, when you drink too much whiskey, sometimes things happen.
Is your third girl named
Accident,
Whiskey?
accident.
Yeah, accident. Okay, so I'm actually I'm working at PwC now. Been working there for 12 years. A surprising long
Wow.
time for me, for even for myself. Yeah. So somehow in between my work, my personal life, somehow I still managed to find a bit of time to game. Yeah. So just a little bit about myself.
Yeah. Thanks. So the reason why I said I might know Kai before Marv even is because I used to also work in PwC, and when I saw Kai's face just now, like 10 minutes ago, I was like, "Eh, this guy looks really familiar." Like I've seen him in the office before, but
Mm.
obviously the difference experience quite large lah, because he's working there for 12 years. I worked there for 4 years until I turned SA when I was a senior, before I left. So, Kai, maybe okay. Whenever I talk to my wife, last time still my girlfriend, about like audit stuff, her brain kind of like her eyes roll to the back of her head. She sort of zonks out. Like I have no idea what we're talking about, which I can understand, right? Audit terms and everything. But maybe for to the layman, can you kind of explain simply like what you kind of do now?
Okay. So first you have to be an accountant, right?
Yeah.
You need to love your numbers a lot. So as an auditor, you basically check, the financial statements
Yeah.
of a particular company just to make sure, if they say that they have $100 of cash, then you make sure that there's $100 of cash by, checking to certain bank statements, etc. So basically we do a lot of checking. That's all we really do. but but I've left that life, that's past life. So in my fifth year, I didn't want to do audit anymore. It was too dry. It was also very it was burnt, I was burnt out lah, spending too
Yeah.
much time at work. And I decided to join risk advisory, RA, risk assurance, they call it at the time. So in my current department, which is actually my 6th year I joined over, we are really doing more on advisory type of work. And personally, for me, I think maybe I consider myself some kind of an insurance advisory specialist. So I actually advise a lot of insurance clients at this point in time. Just so happened that there was a new accounting standard for insurance companies, and I hopped onto the bandwagon to become an SME in that subject lah. So that's how I kind of
Um,
forged my career in PwC. But yeah, so advisory work is a bit better. You get to control your time a bit more, and
mm.
you it's basically project based. So you jump from one client to the next depending on what the client needs. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what really I've been doing all 12 years of my life in PwC.
When I mean when you hop okay, so I also used to work in auditing, so risk assurance. I never got to experience the greener side of the fence. I always like, I don't know whether you did it when you were still in audit. When you look at risk assurance, you're like, wow, it's like they can go home on time, so. I mean, maybe not always on time, but at least they leave. Maybe we leave at 11, they leave at 8, for example. Then I'm like, wow, they can go back and watch Netflix. We still have to stay back and do you do you did you feel like a big difference when you shifted immediately, like in year six?
Actually, to be honest, the stress was very different. To be honest, I still work quite late nights, when I went over to risk assurance. But it's really because at that point in time, I was tasked with a mammoth task to drive this new accounting standard for insurers, lah. But I mean, that was then, but the stress is very different. So in audit, you are pressured with timelines, right? You have to
Yep.
finish a certain piece of
Yep.
packing by a certain time. But in advisory, you are pressured to deliver revenue and you are top line driven. So basically, you need to bring in the sales. So for me to bring in sales, I have to go and meet clients, I have to go and come up with proposals, and the scope of work is so different. So it's different stress. Yeah, and I
Okay.
still work late actually, to be honest. It's just that actually, when does it get better? It gets better when you get more senior. Mm.
So
As
that's
you
the
move up the
difference.
ranks. Yeah,
And
as
you
you
Yeah.
get
move
your
up the
kakia
rank.
to do the work.
Yes. Something like that, yes. But then it depends on whether you get good kakias also lah. If you can get
Brent
let's
was
say
asking what's the difference between your role and financial consultant.
okay. So a financial consultant, typically you are like doing you're selling insurance products, right? So you look at the person's cash flow, you look at how much money he bring in, how much expenses, and then you advise how much excess cash he has, and then after that, the financial consultant will say, oh, hey, maybe you should go and buy this ILP product or this investment product. So that's what a financial consultant do. I advise corporates. I advise companies. So it's that's the
Mm.
difference. One
Yeah.
deals with people. One deals with
So you're like a more big scale kind of.
yeah lah, yeah. But I focus on accounting regulations. Not wealth management.
Yep. So
Yeah.
different. Anyway, like it's personal wealth versus corporate wealth, lah. So it's a
Mm.
bit different. And also in the sense you're not the when you most of your work does not revolve for the companies wise, it doesn't affect their revenue facing processes, right? Most of the time.
No, no, no. So
Yeah.
it's more back end side, like the
Yeah.
finance reporting side of things. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even know there was a new IFRS on but there's always new IFRS on
So
interest
you
payments.
came up from accounting background, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I and
Okay.
are you NTU also?
Yes, yes, yes. NTU.
Eh, I mean, they always say last time, you go to PwC. Actually, you go to any big four lah. You throw one stone, 7 times out of 10 you hit NTU graduate.
That's
Two
true.
times out of 10 you hit
You knew NTU, man? I
NUS
thought you were
graduate.
SMU.
No, no, no.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was NTU.
Okay.
NTU accountancy. That's the what do you call it? Big four farm.
The
Yes.
cookie cutter build. Cookie cutter build.
It's they grow the cows, the wagyu cows there, and then they bring them to the company to chop their head off. No, it's just. Is that still the case? I thought when
Actually,
I left there was
yeah.
a lot of foreigners actually. They show,
No,
right?
so the landscape has changed a lot really. Now we don't really hire. We don't primarily hire accounting grads. Actually, we hire like in my team, I have engineers, I have lawyers. Can you
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, the landscape has changed a lot, and now accounting doesn't get the creme de la creme. Last time
Oh,
I don't know do we get the creme de la creme, but nowadays, right, the creme de la creme goes to like software engineering, the likes of those, because
Sunrise Industries.
yeah, correct. So accounting actually is those backfield, like, those people who don't really do that well, and then they just go accounting, and then after that, they don't have any other choice. They just go Big Four. So nowadays, nowadays, yeah, the level is a bit different now. Yeah, and no lah, we have people from NUS started an accountancy course, and then and it's actually mostly between NTU and US now, with very few SMUs. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then we have this new group of people like lawyers and engineers coming in as well. So it's very diverse now actually. It's very different.
Yeah, I mean, cross pollination helps a lot, lah, in terms of like the diversity of. I mean, in terms of like your team environment, also your diversity of talents and perspectives. I mean, especially on the, I guess more on the risk advisory side, can be a asset. I mean, I guess in terms of assurance side, like for audit side, you kind of still need some hard skills, right, to work in the although you don't really need much skills to do like cash reconciliation and all that stuff, right?
Yeah lah, yeah. So actually, to be very honest, sometimes the engineering grads they catch concepts faster than the accounting
Yeah, that's
grads.
true.
It really depends. Actually, I tell you, it doesn't depend. The degree itself is maybe only 30% of your capabilities lah.
Mm,
So
mm.
what? Because I work with a lot of young people, like 20 Zoomers. I don't consider myself a Zoomer, so
We're
I'm
not.
just
We're not
Wait,
Zoomers.
wait, what
no,
are we then? What are we?
We
I
are
don't know that.
millennials. We're millennials.
Yes,
Wait,
okay,
are they?
okay.
Why are they
Yeah.
called Zoomers? They're
Zoomers,
called
because we
Zoomer.
are Gen Z.
Oh, I thought it had to do with the Zoom
Yeah,
platform.
we are Gen. We are Gen Y. We are the Gen before Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
So
Hmm.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, they're different now lah.
Mm.
Basically, different landscape lah.
I think it's really cool because I'm like looking at you like from a different lens because I left. I guess it's good I left, like, in a sense. The that this sort of I never really. Although sometimes I get Stockholm syndrome, like sometimes I'll look at Mary and I'll say, oh, sometimes I do miss like the satisfaction of finishing a project or finishing a job. But then she said, "You crazy, ah? You don't you forgot all your 2 a.m. nights. Then 8 a.m. got to go back to work." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's true as well." So but there's also a sense of satisfaction, right, when you finish a job and you do it well, right? I think that's the thing about most at least the jobs that I did. There's a clear beginning and an end, as opposed to my current job, which I do missions work in Japan. And the difference in missions work in Japan is that there's no one to tell you, can you please do this and finish it. Like there's no clear delineation of this is your job, this is how when your job starts, this is when your job ends. It In a sense, because like as Christians, we want to grow the church, we want to share the gospel with everybody, right? There's no end, right? The end is when God comes back, lah, in our opinion. So in a sense, the project ends is like we don't get to decide when it ends. So I kind of do miss that nice, delineation of like a feeling of a job well done, right? When you finish it, like, okay, I did well.
No, I mean, but okay, I was a Christian. I'm now a Catholic, but I mean, long story on my own experiences lah. But no, but I think what the work that you do should be a lot of people engagement, right? So when
Yeah,
you help someone in a certain way, I thought then that is that checkpoint.
yeah,
Then you have that checkpoint on that.
that's
Oh
true.
yes, I achieved something.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, faith is very intangible. So I can also understand that. But 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 yeah, I thought if you actually help someone else, then there's something tangible there lah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you're right. It's. I'm not saying that there's no sense of fulfillment, but the sense of fulfillment you get is different, right? Like the feeling of achieving something. I guess in a sense your KPIs are different, right? Like the KPI for like working in PwC or any form of company is more. It's a more material KPI. Like it's very, but for helping someone, where do you draw the line of, oh, that worked or it succeeded in some sense? Of course,
Yeah.
there are certain benchmarks, like, maybe he got baptized or whatever, but and also the thing about it is that it's not in your control either when you help someone, right? It's all up to God and it's up to the person eventually. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, I actually wanted to ask you also about the gamer side of because obviously when I see you before in PwC, I didn't know you're a gamer. I'm sure there are many people who are gamers, but when they enter audit, they cannot game anymore. But can you share with us like your gaming history? Like how did you
Yeah.
get into games? What games do you primarily play? Like history and now as well.
Yeah. Okay, maybe a quick history, but I play actually interesting. I'm a couch gamer when I was young. I used to watch my brother play a lot of Final Fantasy. I didn't really play. I don't know why, but I enjoyed watching my brother play. But I really got serious into gaming. Uh, Actually, maybe in secondary school, JC. I think that was when CS:GO was very popular. I played a bit of Dota, but I wasn't too good at it. And then when Diablo came out, I was also playing a lot of Diablo. Oh, I played the whole Diablo series, so Diablo 1, Diablo 2, Diablo 3. But with the turning point of when I really, took gaming to the next level was in PwC, interestingly. So PwC has this ISKA games where
Oh yeah,
basically
yeah. Oh, you play Iska?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
Oh.
you compete against all the other big fours,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And somehow, just one random day, this manager came to me. Hey, Kai, I heard you play CS. Then say, yeah, 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 I play CS. Yeah. Hey, you want to organize a CS:GO team or not? And say, okay. So the arrow is shot at me already, right? Then I'm like, I totally blur. I have no competition experience, right? I just basically just help to organize and put together a CS:GO team. And I think that was the second year. The first year, right, we lost super badly to. I think it was KPMG. It was so terrible. It was a trashing. But then after that, right, the second year, right, we put our head together and then we
Train.
like
Boot
we
camp.
train and then we like we basically beat them lah. So that was like one of my highlights of
Nice.
my career actually. Well, it was a very, very good experience because like we put in all the hours. We actually like draw like strats, and the guy, so our coach, he's quite good lah. So he actually draw. He's also part of the team. So he actually like draw strategies on. He will like, okay, he'll come out with slide deck. Okay, so this person will go here, that person will go there. How you throw the smokes. He came up with a strategy deck, and yeah, a lot of effort was with it, and then it materialized into like the fact that we won the championships. So we held championships for maybe about 2-3 years after that.
Oh, that's
So
cool,
it
man.
was yeah, it was a very good. So that was how gaming
Is it
game.
still
I
going
had
on?
so after COVID it stopped, right? But also I relinquished my captainship lah. So it's starting again this year. So Marv, I
Nice.
may not have as much time left to play Lost Ark
Oh, so
anymore
you're
because
gonna join, is
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah, I'm probably joining lah. But
Nice,
But
nice.
I wouldn't probably do captainship. I just sit down beside them and see how
I'm sure
they
there are a
do
lot of
things.
younger people now in the team.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
sure I'm better than me as well. So
CS
that
is the
was
young man sport.
yeah.
Honestly,
That
at
that was
mid thirties,
yeah.
you play Twitch shooters, you lose and you lose one against like the 20
Yeah, the
plus.
reaction time and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call myself a very good gamer lah. I just like to pull people together. And actually, Marv, that was the reason why I created the community,
Mm.
the Lost Ark
The loss of
community.
community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm. So just to pull
Yeah.
people with common interests together lah.
And
I
I'm
think that's
grateful for
just
that. Like, if not for the loss of community that you created, I don't think I would have continued. Yeah.
The lone
oh,
survivor in our group still
Yeah.
you know,
playing
I
Lost
think
Literally
Ark.
from like what
Marv,
20 people,
I,
I'm the only one left in my own
yeah,
gaming group.
so I had to pull
Yeah.
together all the trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And even my own group, I'm the only one left, right? Yeah. But I still remember Marv the day you contacted me. It was so
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, you ping me and you asked me to chat, and then you're like, wow. Then I was like, wow, this guy is very serious, man. And this guy, yeah, and
I'm
then and
serious.
that's
I
how we got
mean,
to know each other.
if
Yeah.
you can ask Ian, like when it comes to gaming, especially MMOs, I'm serious, man. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I mean,
Marv is the all-in guy.
I used to read like hardcore in WoW. I told you all right. Yeah, so
Mm-mm.
I'm the type that if I wanna, especially for MMOs, if I wanna play something, um, I wanna do like go all the way to the end and clear as much as possible. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, Brent has a question also, which I think is quite relevant to like balancing work and play. So he actually asked, how do we handle choosing between chasing higher income versus work-life balance? And I think it's very
Wow.
interesting because you see, the three of us now, right? We are all in like three different states I think so. Kai, you're probably the one that has the worst work-life balance. Yeah. Then
As in, not necessarily the worst. He has the hardest job, right?
yes,
But he
yes,
might balance it better than us. But
yeah.
and I think this is
I think
balance
he has
not
the
just with,
longest working hours.
yeah, not just work, but also with like being a
Being a
father.
dad, yeah.
So he
Being
has
a
like to juggle
gamer,
three different things, right?
yeah.
His hobbies, his fam. I mean,
Correct.
obviously more things, his family, but also
Whereas Ian, you had to give up a high-paying job to
yeah.
chase, yeah,
Mm.
your dream as a missionary. And I think I'm the one like kind of in the middle. I probably have. I think I have the most equal in terms of like work and play lah, work and life. Yeah. You want to go first?
Me, yeah.
Yeah.
I can go first if you feel like you have something already on the tip of your tongue.
Um, so Brand's question is like, how do you balance
How
high
do we
income?
handle choosing between chasing higher income versus having a good work-life balance?
Hmm. Okay. For me, to be honest, the starting years were really terrible, lah. And that's where you have to build the foundation. I can maybe only squeeze in a few hours a day because by the time you finish work, you'll be too tired, lah. But those years were very important for me. Those initial years where I had to put in a lot of extra effort and hours, right, were very important for me to start my career lah, and build my career in like a firm like PwC lah. So that actually helped me get where I am today lah, in terms of my pay, my salary, my reputation in the industry. um, and then that then afforded me the time that I can have to play. And not only that, I think because PwC, I mean, because I sought out other avenues. So for example, I went to join the PwC CSGO team, right? So that helped me to also is that part of it where actually I get to play while being part of my work community lah. So to be honest, at certain points in times in your life, you have to prioritize one or the other. At certain
Mm.
points in time in my life, I have to prioritize my family, and in certain point in time of your life, then maybe you got more time to play game lah. But ultimately, gaming is a hobby lah.
Yep.
So there will be points in times where other things are more important. Unfortunately lah.
Yep.
That's my two
That's a great
cents.
answer.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
agree. I agree totally.
yeah.
Also, yeah, I think for me it was a lot simpler because, so I'm a bit luckier in the sense that my work has very good work-life balance. I work like 9 to 5, and at 5 o'clock I turn off my phone and my work phone, and that's it. I don't turn it on until next day when I go to work. So when I end work, I end work. Very rarely ever work overtime. It's like maybe once in a few months I have to work at night. Yeah. So for example, tomorrow I might be a bit late for it. Just let you know first, because I have to see a case tomorrow at 8 o'clock. But it's like once in every, like I said, few months. So it doesn't happen, like all the time. Like people in like industry or banking or medicine, they're always working late. So I guess I'm lucky, but of course the trade off is I'm not paid super well lah. But how I reconcile is basically, am I happy? Am I satisfied with my life? Am I earning enough to provide for my family and still have a lot of time or enough time to spend with them and also do my hobbies? If the answer is yes, then to me I'm contented. But I think this mindset is not for everybody. I have a friend in reservist who's like 27, I think 26, 27. He works in Credit Suisse. I think I told Ian this story before. And he works super long hours. Reservist, we stay in camp, right? Freaking like 4 o'clock in the morning, I wake up, he's on his laptop doing work.
Walao.
Yeah. But he tells me he wants to PR for like, 10 years. Then after that, he can chill. Because he told me he's earning like 16, 17K a month at 26 years old, 27 years old, which is, I think in Singapore is pretty damn good lah. Yeah. So for him, he's sacrificing his like energy, his youth, because he wants to, maybe enjoy life at a earlier age than maybe someone like me. Yeah. Or Ian, will be probably working a lot longer than people like that lah. So yeah, to answer Brand's question, is really a trade-off lah. I think at the end of the day, it really depends on, are you satisfied with where you are and what you're doing? Yeah.
Yeah, I think to that point, I read there was this Reddit post before on the Singapore Reddit that said like he was asking for financial, similar to this question, asking about would you trade like 10, 15 years of your life, just like no life it, and just try to earn as much income as possible to the point where people try to retire at the age of 35, that concept,
Yeah.
and I mean, of course, a lot of people find this concept appealing, right? They find the idea of like, yes, you suffer a little bit at the beginning, and then you can enjoy yourself later. But also, I think that concept doesn't take into consideration that time is not linear in a sense that the value of your time is not linear. Like the time when you're 20 and 30 and 35 is not the same value, in my opinion, as the time when you're 60 and 65. So in a sense, you're trading away the most important times of your life, in my opinion, when you start a family, when you are the youngest that you ever be, the prime of your life to enjoy a bit later. So if you have, I think it's important to in account like the value of your current period of life when you have starting a family, because you're never going to get this time back. Like for example, with my daughter, Marv and my daughter are like almost the same age.
Yep.
They're turning 3 this year,
Yep.
right? Marv's daughter and my daughter is the same age. Marv and my daughter is not the same age. And like I want to spend as much time with them as I can during this time, because I know when they like I don't want to be like when they turn 10 or 15 and I'm like, oh, now I can spend all the time I want with you. Like that's not the same.
Yeah.
The value is the time that you could have spent with them is lost.
Yeah.
It's like there is time value to there is a value lost there. So I mean, I echo all of your thoughts. I agree with whatever you guys in terms of like what you prioritize and deciding what is more important than the other. The only thing that I am a bit different from both of you is that unlike a 9 to 5 job or a job that has fixed amount of times of working, my job is a little bit more free. So there are times where my work is not like my usual 9 to 5 or 8 to 5. I have to like, because like obviously I work with people a lot, so most people are free, especially in Japan. Like people work really hard, right? People work. So my time with them is after their working hours. Obviously, I can't go to their offices and start talking to them and working with them. So my work with them is outside. So for me, I need to find the times in between to spend time with family, because my work hours are kind of outside of normal people's working hours. Of course, I'm taking a new role in my organization. I'm also going to be doing finance for them.
Hey, you took it up.
So, yeah.
Utilizing your degree.
So you
Yeah.
took up the offer that they gave you, is it? They
Yeah.
asked you.
Yeah.
Okay, you can tell
But
me more about it when I come over.
Yeah, but I think it's good. I think in a sense, I mean I took up the degree. Like okay, I don't know what's your motivation for studying accountancy, but for me, I knew I wanted to be a missionary when I was like before I chose my university degree.
Oh.
So I decided like okay, I want to choose a job that I know that I can utilize or God can utilize wherever I go. So I was like, okay, let's think about I was thinking, let's just choose a profession, right? Because professions are universally accepted, right? So I was like, okay, doctor. First thing I had in mind is doctor, right? I'm scared of blood, cannot. Okay, strike off. What else? Dentist. No, I don't want to get teeth. Strike off. Teacher. Oh, shit, that one. I mean, I have a teaching heart, but I don't really want to, because teaching is such a wide field, right? Depending on what you teach. And then I was like, okay, lawyer, not really transferable all the time, right? Because it depends on the country you go to.
Specific to the
Yeah.
legal
And then I was like, okay lah. And then I saw accountancy. I was like, okay lah. My grades kind of good enough to go. So just try like accountancy. At that time, my opinion was like, you bankrupt, you need accountant. You rich, you also need accountant. I was like, it can't be that bad, right? So, in a sense, like when I came to Japan, and then they said, okay, can you take up this role? So I'll share with Marv at a later point in time, because the situation I'm coming into is a little bit different. But now I'm engaging this role as well, so it'll be interesting in the future as well. Yeah, I hope that answers Brent's question. That's a great question, by the way. I think it's something we all struggle with, right? It's something that everybody struggles with, and I think everybody has a different answer.
Yeah, I think your answer will change depending on what stage of life you're in.
which season.
Yeah, I think if I was like them, like, fresh grad 20 plus, I would also be like, okay, I'm going to pia. But then now that, we are in our mid-30s and we have children that are so young, I think that's one of the things that I told my wife, like, actually my wife told me this just recently only. She read somewhere, which is quite true lah. Like the time that you spend with your kid I think up to a certain age, like single digit age, is about 70% of the time, all the time you ever spend with them, of like combined time. Because once they reach a certain age, they grow old and then they don't really want to spend time with you. And then obviously we grow old and then we die and then we don't see them. So yeah, maybe the first like 10 years is 70% of the time that you ever spend with your kid. So I think once you have a kid, right, a lot of things changes lah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we all have daughters, I just realized. Kai has 3.
Yeah.
That's
It's the
was
ultimate.
it actually I was
It's the
gonna
final
ask
boss.
this question. I was gonna ask you I was gonna ask him this. Did you I mean obviously I'm sure you love all your 3 daughters equally. But did you ever like were you like 3 daughters? Oh no. I wanted a son.
Oh. We were hoping the third one is a boy lah,
Mm.
but no lah. I think God has His plans lah,
Yep.
and um, no lah. We're gonna stop. So we are happy with 3 daughters.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that I'm worried about is, I heard that girls are a bit more troublesome during the teenage years lah,
Yeah,
which
that's
I can fully understand. So yeah, like things about like how they look, their physical appearance. I think is very important. So I do have a stepsister who is maybe about 20, 22 years old.
Mm.
22 years old. Yeah. So she went through a phase where she was she wasn't eating well lah.
Mm.
And yeah, but it's tough nowadays teenagers. So that's actually what's worrying me now, really. How am I going to deal with them when the time comes? Because my eldest one is going primary school next year. So it's
Damn.
gonna start already.
Okay lah. Think about it this way: 3 daughters means 3 pingqings.
3 what?
Yeah, but I need
You
to
know the dowry
I-
that you get.
the dowry. Yeah, but then I keep telling them, if you have a boyfriend, you must kind of show Papa your boyfriend.
I can be like me lah.
Your boyfriend.
You can be like
telling
me.
this to your 6-year-old
No-
or to your 11
No
month old?
dating until 30.
No, hey, you'll be surprised that K2 will say, Papa, I want to marry this boy. I want to marry
Yeah, I
that
mean
boy.
that's
I'm sure.
common.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cute like, cause I mean it's also different because I'm in Japan, right? So my daughter is exposed to a different kind of education system. So it's just interesting to see how she will, because obviously she will live here most of her childhood life. I will be interested to see how different it is from. I mean, it's going to be obviously very different from how Meredith will grow up to be, right? So it'll be interesting to see how that will shape up. Yeah, but okay, thanks. We'll circle back a bit on this question. I think we kind of talked a bit on the gamer dads, the dad aspect of it. But I wanted to go to a little bit more chill topic. So as usual, we have this segment called Dad Recommendations, where we kind of share a recommendation that we think is that the other 2 people will enjoy or our listeners will enjoy. And usually what will happen is that we'll prepare a sound audio clip and then we'll all listen to it and we'll try to guess based on this audio clip, what the recommendation is. So Kai and Marv has also prepared this. Mine today doesn't have an audio or video, unfortunately. And when I explain it, you'll realize why. Because but I have a picture that you guys can see. So but who wants to start first? Marv, you want to start first?
We can let Kai go first lah. I'll play his clip first.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to listen to Kai.
Okay, actually, I think mine should be quite obvious, but y'all go ahead.
No
and listen
problem.
to it.
Okay, I'll play it now.
Who said?
In 3, 2, 1.
This is a national emergency.
Detonator charged.
We're in a race against the Nazis,
I don't know,
and I know what it means.
Okay, I'm okay. So I think it's a movie
know.
or a TV series. But the thing is that is that Kiefer Sutherland? Is that Kiefer Sutherland's voice? It sounds like Kiefer Sutherland. Is it not?
I
No,
don't know.
it's Oppenheimer, right?
Yeah, it's Oppenheimer. Who is Keith?
Oh.
Who is this guy?
Kiefer
Kiefer
Sutherland
Sutherland
is 24, the guy from 24.
Do you
right?
watch the TV series from 24?
No, but that's
No.
who? Is it Cillian Murphy?
That's Cillian Murphy.
Is it Cillian Murphy? I don't know. I haven't watched
It's
it.
Cillian Murphy talking. The main
Oppenheimer.
character of Oppenheimer. That's him talking.
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Is it?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Have
But
you
tell
watched
me,
it?
do you watch it already?
Yeah, I watched
Oh,
it and I
Nice.
recommend it. It's a
Okay.
really good show, guys.
Okay.
Oh, wait, have you all watched it?
Not yet.
bro, I'm in Japan, bro. It's not gonna show
He's
here.
not. It's not gonna be shown
Why?
in Japan, bro.
Why? Why
It's
is it
the
not good?
father of the atomic bomb, bro. It's not they're not gonna show it in Japan, bro.
You know?
Sorry, that was a very
Yeah.
insensitive point to make.
It doesn't
Okay,
even have a
okay.
release date in Japan.
It doesn't have release date in Japan. I checked already. I was like, there's no way they're gonna release this.
Don't worry, I'll let you know when
So,
we can stream it. Yeah.
it was a very great. I mean, okay. First thing, I mean, kudos to Christopher, the director Christopher Nolan for putting a history into something so engaging, lah. That was really the thing for me. So it was a very like I didn't know history was so exciting. Yeah. So and of course the acting was good. I mean, the drama was good, and the way he did the film makes you use your brain. So after you come, but like any other Christopher, I don't really watch
Yep,
Interstellar. You watch,
yep, pretty much. Tenet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any of his film, you come out with your brain a bit fried one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, you have a similar feeling coming out from the
Really.
movie, like because of
But
the
isn't
way he
it like
tells
a
the story.
Yeah, isn't it
historical like
isn't it
Yeah,
a
that's
retelling?
the thing,
biopic?
right?
It's a
It's just a
biopic.
history retelling, right? But then somehow the way he tells us, basically he's doing a bit of time jumps. He like time jumps from one time jump to another time, like he back and forth between the past and the present,
Tenant.
and you're forced to a bit like Tenet, yeah, and you're forced to try to piece the whole picture together. So that
Uh,
that that how that
what
help that's one of the mechanisms he used to engage the audience.
what is the question he's trying to get you to think about? If you
Oh.
to sum it up. Oh, is that a spoiler?
Um.
Is that a spoiler?
No lah. I think he's dealing with basically the
Okay.
morality
Okay.
of the
Is it right
weapons
or
lah.
was it right? Did he do
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
right?
That's the main
More
question. Yeah.
okay.
Mm.
Because all his shows, there's always like a question, right? Like
Yeah.
for what's that show? What's the one about the? Is it a dream? Shucks, it's losing my mind.
Is it a dream?
Uh,
Shit.
uh,
Inception. Inception.
Inception, right? Inception. The question was that is he still in the dream, right? That's
Yeah.
the thing that. So I was, all his shows, Tenet also and Interstellar,
Interstellar.
right?
Yeah.
There's always this question that he always wants to leave you a question behind. Okay, that's good. I mean, I'm excited to watch it. I won't get to watch it unless I surf the high seas eventually.
You will lah. You will.
Yeah, I will eventually surf that. How long is the movie? By the way,
3 hours,
Oh,
right?
3 hours
got
long.
intermission
Very
or
long.
not? No intermission.
No
No
lah,
intermission.
bro.
No intermission, one man.
Did you watch it
Was a good
IMAX?
premise. Yeah, I mean, but I think don't need to watch. It's more drama. IMAX. I will watch it like I watch Marvel, like Marvel Avengers in IMAX because of
Dune.
the
I
sound.
watched Dune 2 in IMAX.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't wait for
yeah.
Dune.
Dune 2 would be nice to watch in IMAX, but because this is more drama, maybe not really needed lah. That's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay,
I want to watch also, but 3 hours is a long time, man.
you can watch Barbie first, bro.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna wait for both to be available for streaming. Let's put it
Did you
that way.
guys see the meme where they put Leon Pereira and Nicole Sia's face on the Barbie
Oh yeah, I did.
the Barbie
I did.
poster?
My God, that was so funny.
So bad.
Yeah.
And
I
then
should Google
nobody dared to do TCJ and Tan Yin Yin face. But anyway, okay, let's go to the next one. That's a good recommendation.
Okay, I'll go for mine. Yeah. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. This one's easy lah.
Space. The final
I need to play
frontier.
on my phone. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
I know.
Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations.
The game, right?
To
No, it's not a
go
game. TV series.
where
really?
no one has gone
Star Trek
before.
New Worlds, right? Is it called New
Yeah,
World?
it's Star Trek Strange New World. Strange New Worlds. It's a TV series lah. It's a later Star Trek TV series. It came out after around the time Discovery ended. So there was another TV series called Discovery. This one is based on Christopher Pike and his crew. So Spock is also on the ship on the Enterprise at the moment, but Spock is not the second in command. He's the science officer. Yeah. It's in the second season already, and I actually like it a lot because it uses the very like the old way of telling a TV series. Like every week is like the adventure of the week,
Monster of the week.
monster of the
Yeah.
week kind, but it's the adventure of the
Yeah.
week for them lah. So it doesn't really have like, it's not like trying to be, I got this overarching like story. You need to watch 10 seasons of the show to understand. So it hasn't reached that point yet lah.
It doesn't have the Witcher problem.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying it quite a lot. So the last episode, so there's actually another Star Trek TV series called Lower Decks. I don't know if you've heard of it before.
What a name! What a name!
Because okay, it's called Lower Decks because it's an animated Star Trek TV series based on the people who work on the ship but are living in the lower decks. So they are not like the captain. They are not like the first officer.
The grunts.
Yeah, the grunts. So it basically just follows the grunts of the people living on the Enterprise, and it's animated. So what happened was the most recent episode, they had a crossover where the animated people was sent back in time because they're about 100 years in the future compared to Christopher Pike, and then they were sent back 100 years, and then they became like real life humans, and then they got to interact with the so-called current crew of the Enterprise.
Okay,
so it was quite cool. It was quite cool. Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot.
So is Christopher Pike is he acting? As in, no, sorry, it's who's the actor? Who's acting?
I don't know the name of the actor. I don't recognize him. But Christopher Pike is the captain lah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He's the one before Kirk.
Oh, so he's not captain. Kirk. Because Kirk, when Kirk becomes captain, that's when Spock becomes second officer, right?
First officer.
That's when he becomes XO. Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
I'm not a Star Trek person, but are you a Star Trek person?
I'm not a Star Trek person.
No.
Wow. I just haven't watched. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Maybe I should start watching.
After Star Wars went to crap, then he needs to have
no choice, right?
Okay, Star Wars is too good. Just only certain pieces of media. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Strange New World Star Trek. Yeah, that's right. Wait, what platform is it on?
It's on. Is it Paramount?
It's on the high seas.
That's what you watch. I watch it on the high seas lah.
Do you know what we're talking about, Kai Hong, when we say on the high seas?
High seas streaming.
It's a streaming, but
for
not
free.
through
Streaming
for
for
free. Streaming for free. Wing on the high seas,
If you get what I mean.
If you get what I mean. Okay, anyway. We don't get banned, right? Okay, moving on. Okay, so for mine, I don't have
I will share your image now
and
on the screen.
You can see my picture. The
Yes.
picture I said. Okay. So for those of you who are on the podcast, you can't see the picture. Basically, it's a purple circle with the words LR with a few bubbles inside. Do you guys want to make a guess at what this LR? No, what does that? Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to guess what LR means, right? Okay, I'll give you a hint that LR actually is the name of this thing that I want to recommend.
No way. Looks familiar, but I don't know.
It's the logo of a brand, right?
It's not a brand. Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's an app.
Is it app?
No.
Don't recognize.
Utility. Yeah, I don't recognize. Is it a utility? Is it social media?
No idea, man.
Let me send you. Let me send you something first. Give me a minute.
Sure.
Okay.
Looks like a detergent brand.
First, I thought it's like maybe bubble tea. Like
just send another photo. You can also put this up, Marv. Okay, like this is short for language reactor. Okay, so LR language reactor. So the reason I want to recommend this is because I am studying Japanese right now. I'm conversant in it, but I'm using this to level up my Japanese by consuming Japanese media on Netflix. It doesn't only work for Netflix. It works for any kind of website that actually produces subtitles. So what you can do is, what it does is that if you watch a show that has both Japanese and English or any of the languages you want to do, it will actually take both languages out and you can watch them like in a dual subtitle format.
That's cool.
For example, right? And not only that, right? The language reactor itself has a database. So what you can do is you can hover over certain words that you want to learn, and it will actually show you the definition of what it is, right? So for example, this picture I have showed you, right? In this case, like the second line says "tsuma wa sugoi wanyoku de." So "tsuma," if you hover over it, it means wife, So it will actually show it to you. And then if you sign in and I think you pay like a monthly fee. I think it's like $1 or $2 a month. You actually can save like your words to classify it as like, okay, you've learned it or you've mastered it. Then it will kind of like color coordinate it depending on your mastery level. So eventually, like as you get better and better, the colors will change for you as you get better because the words that you learn, you would have mastered it already. Yeah, so I think this is a really cool tool of learning because instead of just consuming the media in your most convenient language, you're forced to consume it in a language that you want to learn, which is the hardest part, but also engage it in a way that you can understand. And the best thing about it is that as when you hover over the subtitles, right, it will actually pause the deadline. So he will say finish the whole line and your video will automatically pause. So you don't need to like, oh, I need to pause to like try to follow the whole thing. It will automatically pause, and you can use A and D on your keyboard to actually move backwards between subtitles. So let's say like you
Interesting.
go to the next subtitle, then you're like, oh wait, I need to re-listen to what the previous person said. Then you can press A, it will rewind back your subtitles. So I think there's a lot of functionality to this. I think it's quite cool. I mean, obviously I'm using it for Japanese, but you can use it for any language as long as it's available. But okay, the other cool thing is that if let's say that particular language is not available in that website, for example, you're watching on Netflix and they only have like, let's say English and Korean subtitles, for example, but you want to watch it in Japanese, right? You can use machine learning. So it will actually use machine learning from Google Translate or whatever to translate it for you.
Wow.
Oh,
So there's a lot of function. I recommend you guys try. It's a Chrome extension only, I think, as of now. So you have to watch it on a Chrome browser. It's not native to the Netflix.
Didn't you
app.
say it's an app? So it's a phone app, right?
Sorry, it's not. It's an app
It's
in
a
the sense that it's an
extension.
extension. It's a Chrome
Oh, okay,
extension.
okay.
Yeah. So once you download the Chrome extension, it will link it to your. Then you can use it for YouTube also. You can use it for any kind of streaming platform as long as there's subtitles involved. It will generate for you because it's a database that they are setting up as well.
It's a very,
Language
very,
reactor.
very smart.
Is it?
Smart.
Language Reactor.
It's a very, very, very smart. Smart learning tool
Tool.
actually.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man.
Because you're also because I think that's the best way to learn language when you're when you're doing something that you enjoy. Right? If you like watching anime, you like watching shows, then you might as well learn while you're doing it. And I think this is the best way to do it. Actually, I have another one for language learning. Which I will just do a quick shout out to is a YouTube channel called Game Gengo. Have you heard of it before? Game Gengo. So if you ever want to learn Japanese, I highly recommend this YouTube site called Game Gengo. 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 Basically, he's a gamer that learn Japanese, but he learned it through playing games. And he thinks that playing games is the best, or he thinks that learning through what you like to do is the best way to learn. So he likes playing games. So he learned, I think the first game he played was Final Fantasy VII. So he learned with the script, the game script of it. And so when he explains, he teaches you grammar in Japanese. All his examples, all his video examples is all from games. It's super cool. Go check it out. Game and Go. Yeah. Okay. That's enough of my recommendation. Let's move on. Maybe just a quick. What have you guys been? Usually we have a quick segment of like, what have you guys been playing? What have you guys been watching? What have you guys been doing? So maybe Kai can start first. I don't know because we usually Marv and I have similar tastes. We kind of know what each other because we also chat on a daily basis, so we kind of know what each other are playing and watching. So we'd like to know what have you been watching or playing and stuff.
Yeah. So for game, I've been on Lost Ark for the longest time lah. Sadly, Diablo 4 fell off my radar.
Same.
Yeah,
Fell off my
unfortunately.
radar too. Everybody's radar fell off.
Yeah, it's
Season
quite
one
sad.
sucks.
Unfortunately. But I mean the story was good. I enjoyed it. So that's that. But Lost Ark is still engaging me. Unfortunately, I just spent some money on the game, the free to play game. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have. Well,
Doesn't matter as long as you enjoy yourself, right?
I mean, it's free to play, so you spending money is not bad. It's you're putting money into what you enjoy.
I recently watched Oppenheimer, was good. But for series itself, I finished Witcher with my wife. So Witcher is something
nice.
that we watched together.
Okay, can I ask how was your thoughts? Yeah, I was going to say. What do you
I
think?
don't know, leh. No, I mean,
I actually
the
just
first
finished
season,
it. just before this, like when I'm eating dinner. I just watched the last episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to. I mean, then they say they're going to link it over to Lian Hensworth. I thought they would actually address that in the last episode, but they didn't. But anyway, I think for Witcher, I enjoyed the first season the most.
Yes,
That
I agree
was
also.
that was
Yeah.
that was
First
it.
season.
But
Yeah.
after that,
We all
season
agree.
2, season 3, then
This is called the stupid showrunner syndrome. It's when your director, right, decides that he knows better than the author.
Yep.
And he decides to write his own story.
Did
that's
you play the
outside
games,
of the
Kai?
story?
I played a little bit only. But
Okay.
actually, I was more engaged by the TV adaptation.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
I
so,
did play. Yeah.
so Ian actually has played.
The
yeah.
whole thing.
I played all.
Yeah. Did
all
you read the
way
books,
through.
You didn't read the books,
Wow.
right?
I didn't read the books, but I've played the. I mean, the books are the game is quite faithful to the books. It just operates on a different timeline. They don't operate in the same timeline.
So it's like people who have played the games are obviously not happy with how the show has been going, lah.
I mean, people who even don't play the games was not happy about how the
See,
show has been
okay,
going.
Yeah,
I ask you, Kai,
storytelling is-
don't you feel like, even though it's called The Witcher, there's very little actual witchering and Witcher in season 3.
Oh yeah.
It's
Correct.
it's a
Especially
Yen
with-
and Siri show, right?
Yeah. Correct. Season 3 was very focused on the other two characters. The season 3 was focused on the family part of it, lah.
Maybe they were trying to wind down, like showing too much of Henry Cavill since they knew that he was gonna be gone soon.
Then I think if you know those action scenes where they throw in, I think the last part where he fought the guards,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the other part where I think there was one more scene, but I mean it felt like they just threw it in just to satisfy the fighting.
It's like
part.
farewell to Henry Cavill. Okay,
Yeah,
here's
yeah,
the fight
yeah,
scene.
yeah,
Bye.
Unfortunate.
I only watched up to episode 3, and then I was just like, okay, I can see the writing on the wall, because I know the actual. I mean, I know the actual story of how it's supposed to go, and I can see the deviation. I'm like, oh, okay, they've gone this way. I guess they decided not to. In a sense, actually, Yen and Siri's story is actually quite canonical to the books. Like their relationship is actually like mother and daughter.
Mother and daughter, yeah.
They actually do create this mother and daughter, just like how Geralt is kind of like her father,
Yep.
a surrogate father. So I don't blame them for wanting to create that tension, between Yennefer and Ciri, but kind of not at the expense of Henry Cavill of Geralt, right? And him not being. And I feel like maybe I only watched the first 3. Like they're trying to create this Game of Thrones kind of vibe, right? This political, which is also canonical to the books, but the main part of the series has always been the relationship between Geralt and Ciri and Yennefer. The politics has always been
On the sides.
secondary. Yeah, it's always been them navigating through this, but always them being the center. And because obviously Ciri being who she is of the elder blood, like Geralt and Yennefer's responsibility has always been to protect her. Yeah, and seeing how they protect her through these political maneuverings is part of the joy. I don't know whether does season 3 successfully convey this feeling.
No. I mean, it focused a lot on the family part of it, which I think they did bring out lah. But yeah,
It's just-
unfortunately,
It's just Siri
I felt
like running away.
May-
Right. The
yeah.
whole show is just about Siri running away.
yeah, felt very rushed. I thought they could have stretched it longer, but I'm not sure why they didn't.
Isn't
want
it
to,
already
like-
12 episodes? It's 6, right?
Yes.
Huh?
Oh, 5, I
Was
think.
it?
I don't know.
Or was
I
it 4,
thought-
4?
Part 2
Could be
was
4,
so
4.
long. I
No,
thought
no,
the last part.
It's
that-
4, 4.
that
It's
was
4, 4.
only-
It's
Oh,
4, 4.
that is
Yeah.
that is quite short. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are certain things which they could have. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
what anything else other than The Witcher?
Yeah, I want to share this series by there's one it's an AI basically explores the concept of AI. So I also like to watch AI and future stuff like sci-fi. So basically in a world where synthetic humans are being created to do domestic work and all that. It's called Humans. The main actress is actually Gemma Chan. I don't know if you heard of it before.
Yep.
She's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Crazy Rich Asians, right?
Okay, so I just started watching it. So it's an interesting premise lah. So
Is it
So
is
see
it
how far
a
it takes.
series on?
yeah, it's a series,
Netflix?
3 seasons now.
No,
not on Netflix. I'm high seizing it.
Is it similar to the game? Have you heard of the game Detroit Become Human?
Yes.
Is it
very
similar
similar.
to that? Okay.
Yeah, very similar. They touch on similar themes. I didn't play Detroit Humans, but I watched people play.
Yeah.
Like I
So
watched.
it's that
Oh,
whole idea of the morality of
Yeah.
AI. Are
she's
they
from
human?
Correct.
His feelings, the fact that
Correct.
they feel or
she's from
whatever. Okay.
Eternals.
Yeah.
Yes,
Gemma
correct.
Chan,
So,
Crazy Rich Asians. She's
Yep.
the bullied girl, not bullied girl, lah. The one that married the rich family.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
But cool. All right.
Mm.
Humans.
Okay.
It's called Humans.
Humans.
Yes, humans.
Yeah.
Marv, you want to say anything? You have, I mean, you obviously have
Yeah,
stuff
sure. I
to.
mean, I've been playing Lost Ark. Same lah. Diablo 4. I actually wanted to play season 1. Then all the nerfs came out, the patch, and then everybody was angry. But apparently they reversed most of the stuff and they buffed a lot of characters. But I don't know. At this point, I'm just like, I'll just wait for season 2 lah. Yeah. So I'll see how
Sad.
it goes. Yeah, and then I think for Lost Ark, Kai and I are preparing for the next raid. It's coming out supposedly in 2 weeks' time. Yeah. So it's actually coming out on a Wednesday before I fly. So I'm flying on a Saturday. So we have about 3 days lah to clear the raid. Can we do it, bro?
I don't know, man. 3 days.
Let's clear the raid before I
It's
fly.
technically easier than.
Yeah.
I mean,
I could play in Japan lah if my internet is good enough, so I can actually still play in Japan.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, you could lah, but why? Why would you?
Is this a holiday trip, right?
Yeah. But
This
I'm
time?
going first. I'm going
Oh,
alone first.
you can do your solo part with them. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So the solo part I can still read lah. But when my wife comes up, I don't know, man. But yeah, anyway, so that Bleach and Jujutsu Kaisen just restarted like a couple of weeks ago. So I've been following that. I don't know if you follow either of them, Kai.
No.
Do you watch Bleach last time when we were younger?
No.
It didn't. So it's the
Yeah.
final season lah, so called. And Strange New Worlds, yeah. And then I'm also following this new The Walking Dead series. They have a new spin-off called Dead City, which follows 2 of the old characters lah. Yeah. So basically, I don't know if you ever watched Walking Dead, but so one of the characters is Maggie, and she's looking for a son, and the other character is Negan. Negan actually killed Maggie's husband before, but then he's like kind of like turned over a new leaf. But obviously, she doesn't want to have anything to do with him lah, right? So yeah lah, it's about them looking for Maggie's son lah. Yeah, so that's what I've been watching recently.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I have, in terms of movies, my wife and I try to, whenever I, like, because we don't really watch, for one, movies are really expensive in Japan. Singapore, how much is a movie? On weekday can be like 850, 10
IMAX.
Days cheap. Yeah.
IMAX was 24, but I think you can
That's
get.
that time.
Weekend is like 13, I think. 13, right?
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah, about there. Yeah.
Japan, the
Yep.
the normal day ticket is $18.
Oh, shit.
That was like 850 yen.
That's a lot
And-
of, yeah.
Yeah. So and then obviously there's also the issue of like dub and sub, right? So there's most shows are dubs here. So you'll be watching it they'll be speaking, but their mouth is moving in English, but they'll be speaking Japanese out at you, which I don't mind. Which I don't mind in terms of like I can understand it, most of it, but it's not it's not the kind of experience I want, right? Like I don't want to hear.
You want the
is
authentic
it-
real.
I don't want to hear Rocket Raccoon
different.
speaking Japanese to me in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So we watched The Flash. We watched and then we're still watching Guardians of the Galaxy now. We don't watch the full thing because like it's a long movie, so we tend to watch like half of it or like 1/3 of it, and then we're like, okay, let's go and sleep. My wife and I, we don't really watch the full thing. But The Flash, do you watch The Flash, Kai?
I watched it on myself. Yeah. It's
It's
the newest one. Yeah.
yeah, the Ezra Miller one, the one that that none of the characters will ever come back again because
Correct,
of the fiasco. But I mean, I will just say, after watching Guardians of the Galaxy, at least half of Guardians of the Galaxy, the CGI for the Flash is really
Yeah.
bad.
Terrible. Terrible.
Like it looks like those like China produced, those like those wuxia films. Like they have those like they
Yeah,
run on
I
the
agree.
water and then they shoot the sword and then the water flies out. It looks like that kind of production.
You know the
level.
final scene where the
I don't know.
universes are crashing, and then they had the CGI of like Henry Cavill
Yeah.
and all the
Yeah.
other. Wow, that
Yeah.
was so bad, man.
I don't know why though. I mean, it's supposed to be a big budget, man. I don't know why
It
they
looks
don't.
worse than most games. I don't get like the game
Yeah.
studios make
It
better
looks like
CGI than that.
PS3 level like era kind of game.
PS3.
Yeah. Not even PS4,
No.
like PS3. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, but the story was okay. I think it was a bit derivative, but I like Michael Keaton as Batman. I think he saved the show for me. Um, sorry, spoilers if you haven't watched it yet. Super Mario Brothers movie I also watched. That was good. Have you watched Super Mario Brothers the movie?
I watched about 20 minutes in, and I think
Ah,
it's really good.
it's
I
good.
didn't want.
It's good.
I
It's
think it's
I
good.
a
wanted
Yeah,
to do
I
the
enjoyed
part
it.
where I think Mario was doing the training montage.
Oh, okay,
You know,
okay. With
that's
Peach,
She
right?
was teaching him
yeah.
to do the obstacle course.
It's a very happy movie. Like it's a kind of movie that you watch, you're like, I feel so good now. But it's a very well animated movie, and I think they balance like if you're a gamer, if you understand the gamer side of Super Mario Bros, you'll be like, I can see all the little Easter eggs they put in. But if you're not a gamer, you'll be like, oh, that was a really good movie. So I think they tread that line very because some movies they go either completely to one side, like all for newbies, they don't pay homage, or they go to the like only people who know this will know this, right?
Yeah.
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 So I think they tread the line very well. In terms of shows I've been watching, I have been watching this anime called Mushoku Tensei. So I have been trying to watch because okay, on Japanese Netflix, right? There's no English subtitles. So I don't usually watch with language reactor because I try to watch it in as much Japanese as I can. And I can understand like 70-80% of it. So every time I watch an anime, right, it's like a work activity in my brain. I have to like actively try to understand. I mean, I'm enjoying the show, but I'm like, my brain is working at the same time. So I can only watch like, sometimes you watch anime, you can just watch one whole season in like a whole day, right? 24 episodes, no problem. 20 minutes, I just
Yep.
breeze through
Just
every
blast
episode.
through, yeah.
But I can't do this when I'm watching in Japanese because sometimes you just leave it in the background, right? But you hear the English, you're like, okay, I understand, or you read the subtitles, you're like, I understand what's going on. But when you're watching Japanese, you really have to like, I'm just staring at the subtitles, like, what are you trying to say? Because I have to pause, I have to look at the kanji. I'm like, what does this mean? So, but it's interesting. It's an interesting concept. Mushoku Tensei is like this guy he's a hikikomori. Have you heard of hikikomori? He's like a shut in the society. So he dies, then he gets
Otaku?
isekai.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's a guy. Okay.
no, it's not otaku. Otaku is like a nerd,
Yeah.
a weep who
Oh,
really
different?
enjoys. Yeah,
Yeah.
hikikomoris are shut-ins. They don't leave
They don't
the
go
house at
out.
all.
They like
leave
deliver
the
everything to their house.
Yeah.
They just stay at home, play game, watch anime, that kind of thing.
Otaku also do that, right?
The otaku can go to
no.
school and go to work, but then they are like a nerd. They are geek.
Yeah, they are
you know.
geek.
Yeah.
They're geek, but they're
that's
not
something new
hikikomoris.
today. Okay.
Yeah, so he's Hikimori, but basically he dies. He saves someone by pushing them away before the truck hits them, and then he gets reborn into this magical world. He's an isekai, but he gets reborn as a baby.
Okay.
When he gets reborn as a baby, he still retains his consciousness as a baby. Like he's in baby form, but he's an adult. He's a Hikikomori. So it's about his adventures in this new world. He can do magic, everything, but he's still a Hikikomori. He's still a shut in at heart. So he's trying to reconcile his own personal like tribulations with his new world. Mushoku Tensei. You guys can check it out. And in terms of game wise, I also read quite a lot of manga. So I just finished. Well, not finished, but I've caught up with One Piece. Do you guys, any of you, read One Piece or watch One Piece at all?
Nope. And it's too late to start.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
so long, right?
I read chapter 1075. I think that was the last chapter I
That's
read.
nuts, man.
So you guys have a lot to catch up to if you want to read. But it's very good. Japanese people do love it. And I read also Mashley.
Mashley,
Have you seen it, Kai?
No,
It's also an anime on Netflix, right? An anime on Netflix, right? Marv?
I don't think it's on Netflix. I watched it on like Crunchyroll or something.
Really? But anyway, Mashley is basically. Do you know One Punch Man, Kai?
yeah, I love One Punch Man.
Okay, so if you like One Punch Man, you will like Mashley because One Punch Man is Mashley is basically One Punch Man in Harry Potter universe.
Yep.
So it's basically about this guy who is ridiculously powerful, but he has no magic.
And he enrolled
But he
into
lives,
a
but he lives in a world where magic
Yeah.
is king.
Yeah.
So it's all about him trying to, or not trying to, but him living in this
yeah.
world.
So he
And it's
enrolled
very-
into a magical school.
yeah, but he
And
got
then
no magic.
his magic is that he's super strong and super fast and super. So everybody thinks that he's using some form of advanced magic, but he's just like super fast
It's
or
just like
damn
One
strong.
Piece.
Yeah.
Okay, to give it, I explained this to my
Yeah.
wife. So they have their version of Quidditch in the manga. So what he
Yeah.
did was that the guy challenged him to a race. So they said ready set go, and before just after go left his lips, right, he already reached the other end of the field with the broom. So what they actually showed was that he actually threw the broom all the way to the end and then ran across the Quidditch field and then sat on the broom at the end. That's how he won the race. So it's that kind of like like that One Punch Man's kind of ridiculousness, right? So I
Yeah.
think if you like One Punch Man, you will like Meshley, I think.
Is it a short season or like
Oh,
or like
I
kind of
have
like
no idea.
Bleach?
The anime is
Oh,
is
it's short,
very
it's short, it's
short.
short.
It's very
Yeah,
short.
it's short.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay,
short,
okay.
it's short. It's not
Yeah,
long.
because it's still
Even
ongoing.
even the manga is only like 150 chapters, which is short for a manga.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the first. That's like the first arc of Bleach. Yeah. Anyway, and then in terms of games, I've been unlike I don't play an MMO, so I have a lot of time to play other games. I don't have a gaming job in terms of playing MMO. So I've been playing the Yakuza. Have you guys? I mean, I know Marv hasn't, but Kai, have you ever played or heard of the
No,
Yakuza series?
no, 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 no. Like,
Okay.
is it like what's that game? Like GTA style?
So that's the closest comparison that people always compare it to, but I think it's a
Oh,
bad comparison because in GTA like you can shoot people, everything is innocent. You can shoot innocent people, you can blow things up and everything, right? You can't do any of that in the Yakuza series. It's so the GTA to me GTA is a game about bad people doing bad things in general lah. Most GTAs are bad people doing bad things. But the Yakuza series follows a few characters that live in this Yakuza universe, right? So it's like a reenactment of like the actual Tokyo nightlife of what Yakuza was like 20, 30 years ago. But it's like good people trying to live a good life in a bad world. Yeah.
okay.
And if you like, do you guys do you like watching those kind of like Hong Kong crime dramas, those like Infernal Affairs, that sort of story? That is basically what it is, a Yakuza game, except that it is even more ridiculous and more crazy. So, and it's a very single play, it's a single play experience. So, I would recommend if you ever want to try a game, and you can play in short bursts. I recommend trying Yakuza Zero. It's like a it's a remake of a very old game, but it's very modern now. So and it's usually very cheap, like $5 on Steam kind when it comes out. So Yakuza Zero, you can try it. Yeah, so that's for me. Okay, let's talk about something a little bit different now. So shifting a bit away from games, I just wanted to ask you something. Okay, I wanted to ask you something about your kids. So, I mean, I know I know Meredith quite well, and Marv knows about Rebecca quite well. But I obviously don't really know any of Kai's kids. Can I ask, like, for Marv, and even Kai can share as well? Do you guys have any milestones for your kids recently? And also for Marv, I actually want to ask you, like, because I think I was listening to episode 20, and I realized that at episode 20, Meredith hadn't even gone to school yet, and
Oh,
up to now, she's like more than half a year
yeah.
in already.
Yeah.
So how has that been?
So she started school in December last year lah. It has reached a point where she no longer cries when she goes to school, so I guess that's a milestone. It took
Wait,
it took a
it
while
took
lah.
7 months.
Okay,
What?
to be fair, right, it was quite good. Like just before we left for Japan in February, and then after we came for Japan, we had to restart the whole process again because
Oh,
yeah, then she didn't want to go to school. But now, I think like maybe in maybe June onwards, she started to really enjoy school. I guess like she'll want to go to school, and she won't cry when I send her to school. Like she'll go in happily, like she'll turn around, bye bye, that kind of thing. Yeah, I don't have to like shuffle through the door and like please take her, that kind of thing. Yeah. Milestones. The things that at the age they're changing every day lah, right? Kind of like don't really know. I don't think there's like any significant milestones compared to like maybe the first year or so. But recently, I mean, she's learning a lot of new words. So recently, she started asking, or rather today actually, she asked. My mom told me. She asked my parents, "Are you my grandmother? Is Yeye my grandfather?" Yeah. Then my parents had to tell her, yeah. So I think she learned it in school. 'cause
There's
it's
like some kind of self-recognition also, right?
yeah,
Knowing
like
people
she
focus.
kind of like linked it in her head, like whatever she learned in school. Yeah, so that's quite cool. Um, she's been asking for a bike recently, like you know, the training wheels type of bike. Yeah. So I told her that one you go ask your akong buy because
How much
akong's
is it?
Like that one.
no lah, it's not that expensive, but because akong promised that he will get her one when she's old enough. So yeah, I'm like, you go hold akong to his promise.
Actually, can this age, I think when they turn 3, definitely capable of riding the bike also. I
Yeah,
will probably get her one soon as well.
yeah. Oh,
That's the one where you use the legs to pedal. I
yeah,
didn't get
yeah.
my
She has that one. It's a balance bike. It's
Scooter.
a balance bike.
balance bike. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
She also actually recently got a kick scooter. Her cousin gave it to her. Yeah.
Oh, she got so much stuff.
Yeah. So she's not bad, no. She can actually do the kick scooter. I'm quite surprised. Yeah, but she can't turn.
Like-
She can go straight.
Like she can kick and hold her balance.
Yes, she
and all that
can.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh
So
wow.
we've been watching her do that at the park, but she can't turn yet. So she'll just go straight until she bangs a wall. Then she will get down and like manually move it.
She's the old way
Yeah.
of stopping, just hitting the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's about it. Like, I'm a bit afraid because we're gonna be away from her for about almost 2 weeks. At the end of the month, right?
Well, I mean, you will be away for
Yeah.
2 weeks, but Sherry will not be away for 2 weeks.
She'll
right?
be away
1 week?
from her for about 10 days.
Uh,
Yeah. So it'll be the longest that she's ever been away from us. Like, even, yeah. I mean, COVID is not really counted, lah, right?
no.
But that time she was
What-
younger, lah. So
Yeah, she wouldn't
Yeah.
recognize you also.
that she wouldn't remember. But now she's older, so
Mm.
I'm a bit afraid, like, what's going to happen. But
When
Yeah,
you
we'll
come
see,
back
we'll
after 2 weeks, are you my papa?
well, I'm sure she knows, lah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you're going away on just two of your trip, Marv.
Yeah. So I'm going first.
Shock, right? Shock, right?
I'm
Yeah.
flying on a Saturday morning, and then my wife is flying on a Tuesday, cause she couldn't secure her leave on Monday. Yeah, but then
Which is-
like just last week she managed to get the leave, but it's too late already lah, cause we already booked the tickets already, right? So I'm gonna have about 3 days lah of alone time in Japan.
So then, how long are you away from the kid? 2 weeks,
I'm flying on Saturday. I'll be back on the following Wednesday. So it's about
Oh, 10.
yeah.
Slightly more than. Yeah, 2 weeks. That's 10 days, lah.
Yeah.
Was it?
Around there. 11 days lah, 11 days.
10 days.
Yeah.
Okay. About the same time that me and my wife went for our own couple trip. It's
Mm.
good. It's a good trip, lah. It's a good trip.
So you left your kids also?
How did your
with
daughter handle?
family?
Yeah. We just left it with my mother-in-law lor to help take care.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing Marv learned, and I think we all know as parents, like any trip with your kid is not a holiday.
Yeah, man.
When you have more, it's even worse.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like we have one already, and we travel is like we have to think about carry this, bring this, and think about nap everything. Like it's not a holiday. You don't get to enjoy it. You don't get to do the things you want to do basically as a holiday, right?
Yeah.
We'll get a bit more into that later when we talk about Japan because Marv is coming here. But what about Kai? Have you have any
Yeah.
anything you want to share?
Sure. So, no, I think for me, right, I think the fun the stage of my kids now is basically managing the dynamics between the sisters, especially the older two. They are very close but the number two, which is the middle child, so we have been very cautious and trying to make sure she don't exude, or we try to give her or show her more love or more attention because we are afraid that she will have the middle child syndrome. So that's the thing that I think at least me and my wife we have been actively trying to avoid lah. Either is it giving her a bit more priority when it comes to disputes, or but it's weird because the number two always wants to do what the number one wants to do. And then when the number two don't get what the number one gets, even though it's just a slight difference. So like for example, the toothbrush must be the same color, the whatever they eat must be the same, the cup must be the same, or if there's a pink cup and a yellow cup, the number two must get the pink cup first because it's pink color. But these are ways where I realized that the number two is just trying to
Yeah.
she's trying to I mean, I also don't know. I cannot. I mean, she's going through a phase lah, which now she's throwing a lot of tantrum, which we also trying to figure out why. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge, lor, when you are having more than one kid, I guess, because the dynamics is something that we just have to monitor and make sure they still treat each other properly, lah,
Yeah.
even as sisters. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, when number three grows up, also there will be a different dynamic there as well.
And then
I think, yeah, like you said, like any perceived slight difference to her is a massive injustice, right? To her in her
yeah,
mind, like
yeah.
different color and
And
everything. Also,
the way she cry is really you can tell she's very upset. It's not like I'm just crying for the sake of tension crying. I feel like I can tell the way she's crying, right? She's really feeling like something is very unfair for her kind of thing.
yeah, it's not
Yeah,
just
so
she's not just throwing a fit for the sake of throwing a fit. She
mm,
really feels
yeah,
it.
she's really feeling upset lah, upset. Yeah, I mean, but that's the challenge lah. But they're still lovely lah. I mean, no matter what, and both of them are different. I mean, I don't know whether you're gonna get more than one kid, but having a sibling in the house makes a lot of difference. So the number one now actively, I've been teaching her to basically think of her sister first. If not, she's always thinking of herself. And because she's always thinking of herself, she's always making the sister upset. So like today at the shower, when she was showering, she said something like, "I don't want to be your sister anymore."
Oh
And the number
man.
two cry and cry and cry. Yeah, so things like this lah. But the number one is basically learning how to be a big sister lah. So that's the
Yeah.
dynamic that we are also trying to, make sure it goes well.
Yeah, it's like I just think of your number two as like she thinks of her older sister as not only her hero but also her number one competition. So it's like she has to reconcile the two things, right? She's like she wants to
Yeah,
follow exactly, but at the same time you're also my competition, for my parents'
yeah,
emotion feelings.
for everything, not only just
Yeah,
parents,
yeah,
right?
that's
Like
true.
the spoon, the cup, any small little thing, and yeah. I think other than that, my number one, we just applied for primary school lah. Next year she's going primary one already, very fast. You realize
Nice.
time flies after a while.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, managed
Are
to
you?
get into my alma mater, Tao Nan
Oh,
School.
okay. Oh, do you stay near
No,
East
no,
Coast?
no. We don't.
Your alma
Oh.
mater is Tao Nan.
Yes.
My wife also Tao Nan girl,
Oh really?
but very far apart. She is
What?
what year were you born?
87.
87.
87 is it? Oh,
Yeah.
she's 91. So you 4 years difference. Okay lah. But you definitely would not know any P1s on your P5.
Yeah lah, yeah lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah. So these are some interesting things that happened recently for my kids.
yeah, and then of course your number three is just like, oh, can walk
Oh,
already not?
okay. So I need to tell you about number three. So number three, I mean, okay. So the role and responsibility starts to come. So number three, unfortunately, I don't have too much time with number three lah. It's tough. Even like I'm only supposed to do the night duty after 12. So after 12, I basically tend to her if she cries lah. But other than that, right? Actually, most of my attention and focus is on number one and two, just to make sure that they're happy, make sure that they're loved, make sure that they receive enough attention. So that's the thing, lah. I mean, so you really need help. I mean, for me at least, we have helpers lah to help with the household stuff, and also with some of the like we have shifts law, but no choice ah. So I will always put the two older kids to bed. Then after that, number three is either my wife will handle or our helper will handle.
Do they
But
share a
it
room?
comes a time where the number one and two will share room. Number one and two will
Okay.
share room. Number three is in another room
Yeah lah.
lah.
Yeah lah. What number one and two? What's the age difference? 6
Six
and.
and four.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's the sad part. We got number three, but I don't get to spend the same. I don't put in the same amount of effort as number one and number two during the baby days.
Mm.
Yeah, but it will
Yeah.
change lah as she gets older. It will change, right?
Let's see how it goes lah. Let's see how it goes.
I can't even remember how my kid was at 11 months anymore.
Uh, I know I'm definitely more chill with number three lah for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. They say like, there's a saying, right, where like, number one, you take the milk bottle, you must sanitize, UV,
Yeah.
wash. Then number two, you wash but you soap, make sure everything clean. Then number three, you just okay, looks clean enough. You can drink again. Is that the same feeling that you have
It's the
now?
same. It's the same. It's the same. Definitely the same. Very chill one. Number three. Very chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your number three? Do you feel it's a more chill baby in terms of like physically taking care of her? Do you think that she's more?
We couldn't sleep train her, so we failed at sleep training her. So
Oh man.
number one and two
Mm.
still okay. Number one, we got down to the heart. Like we really sleep train her. Like because number one, what? Number two, luckily, she was able to sleep through the night herself. Number three was quite a headache. So she's not sleeping
Yeah.
through the night, even
And also,
until 11 months.
I mean, the fact that if you can't do the cried out method, so because then your other two kids will be like, why is Mei
Yeah,
crying so
yeah,
much?
yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
okay lah.
That's true. That's true.
Um, for me, oh, my daughter just woke up crying. Okay. Then my wife went to go comfort her. So my daughter speaks exclusively Japanese actually. Because she goes to a Japanese nursery. So she consumes Japanese content. She watches all her characters, all her like her cartoons that she watches are almost exclusively Japanese. We speak to her in English as much as we can because we still want her to speak English, right? But so she understands us in English, but she will respond to us back in Japanese. Yeah.
Wow.
So when you see the way we interact, you'll be like, because like my family's gonna come to visit. Not my family. Marion's family's gonna come to visit us in end of the month, and then I think it's gonna be quite interesting because they will see us talk and they wouldn't understand a single word she says because she speaks in Japanese, right, the whole time. So, but the cute thing now is that recently she's been stringing sentences together. So previously she will say just like the word itself. So she'll be like, for example, if she wants to eat something, so she'll say senbei senbei. Senbei is like the rice cracker, right? So she'll say senbei. So I'm okay. She wants to eat the rice cracker, but now she strings together sentences. But sometimes when you string together sentences, right, I just listen to her. I'm like, what are you trying to say? Like, cause it's partially, of course, partially is in Japanese, but most of it, like 89%, 90% of it is just that she's gibberish, she's talking gibberish as well. Like in between the key Japanese words, there's a lot of gibberish in between. So like even Japanese, like sometimes I will like look at like my neighbors also who have kids. Like the neighbor's kid will talk in Japanese, then I'll be like, ちょっとわかん- I don't really understand you. But then I'll ask the father, like, so what he said? He said, I have no idea what he said. So I'm like, okay, so this is not just it's just not just a me thing. It's a I guess it's a parent thing. Like sometimes your kid reaches that age, right? They also talk gibberish in English, like in Singapore as well. But that's cool, lah. Like now she's speaking in kind of complete sentences. And now she's a lot more fun to play with. She can understand cause and effect now, so she understands consequences now. So now this is where the discipline parenting portion comes in, I feel, because obviously when your kid is like less than 2 years old or like a year and a half and below, like a lot of it's just physical parenting, right? Just making sure that they are fed, making sure that they're warm, making sure that they have all these their physical needs are taken care of. But now I feel like now they understand cause and effect, they understand consequences. So it's part this is where I feel I need to teach her, like when she acts out, like what is the appropriate way to tell her, like if she's acting out, like there is a real emotional response to something, right? She's acting out because she feels something. How and then me obviously shouting at her will not help, right? So how do I engage her in a way that she understands, right? So I think that's part of like the learning process as a dad, because every kid also responds differently, right? Like what works for one kid does not work for the other kid all the time. Like maybe one kid is like, you just sit them gently to one side, you sayang them a bit, and you say like, it's okay, you just do this. It works for one kid. Then the other kid, you must like maybe you must do something totally different. Like you just must distract them or something, and then they'll be fine. Who knows? Yeah, so I think learning how I only have one kid now, so just learning that process, I think it's quite rewarding actually. The teaching them and getting them to understand, and then when they repeat the same thing again, like and you see a different response now. So they previously might have acted out, but now the same thing happens, and you tell them, remember like last time Papa told you to do this, and then they'll be like, then they kind of like it registers in their head, then they do the correct action. Right, I think there's a sense of reward there. So like every time now, sometimes I'll tell obviously I'll tell her, when she receives an item or she did something, she must say thank you. So she'll say, Papa, thank you, or Mama, thank you, like whatever, in terms of whoever gives it to her lah. But sometimes she will say thank you to even random situations. So like sometimes when I say, when you ask something from someone, you must say please, right? So but I'll say, Becca, what must you say? Thank you. Even though I wanted to say, even though I wanted to say please, but she thank you. So I'll be like, okay, I don't think she gets it yet, but it's okay. She'll slowly get there. But kids are cute, so they can get away with many things when they're cute. Actually, I have another question for you guys because it's not an issue for me, but I'm starting to see it more, which is that my daughter is, even though I think I take like 50, I think that the workload between me and my wife in terms of taking care of her is quite split. I might even do a bit more in terms of actual time, but like, are your kids more sticky to one of you than the other?
For me, yes, but it's seasonal. So I mean, compared to Kai, because we only have one. Right?
Seasonal, like Diablo season
So
one.
it's really seasonal. Like okay, for example, what happened was last Friday. Last Friday after work, my wife went out. Like she went to meet her friends. So, I was alone with my daughter lah. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring you out on a dinner date. Daddy daughter dinner date. So I brought her out. We went to Sushi Day. Then I brought her shopping. Then let her see toys. I bought her toys. Then we went to the UFO catching thing. And then I got her a new toy, a new dog. It wasn't a dog, it was a sloth. So then after that, right, the whole weekend, right, she's like, I want daddy. Yeah. But Meredith has certain things that she will definitely like look for someone. So when it comes to nighttime, like bedtime routine, right? It's she will like gazette it for my wife only, like for Sherilyn only. So if I try to come into her room while they are having like their nighttime routine where they're like reading books, she'll be like, "No, daddy, go out, please."
Yeah. She'll get agitated, right?
Yeah, which is quite cute lah. Yeah. So even at that age, they kind of have like certain activities like I want to do with daddy and certain activities I want to do with mommy. Yeah.
Kai, do you have a similar experience
That's
as well?
interesting. No, so for me, I think they keep asking for mom now. But the reason is because mom is spending a lot of time with number three.
Yeah, so they crave her attention,
yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm the main. I mean, I'm the main person doing the night routines now. And then also like if they need to go toilet after they go to sleep, it's also me. They won't naturally look for mom, but that's the thing. When mom is not around, then now they always want mom. So and they'll be very happy when mom is around. So I wouldn't say I don't feel like there's a stick. I don't think there's this sticky part though. The interesting thing, at least for my kids, I don't observe like they would tend to go to one parent or the other. Yeah, interestingly, but we are like me and my wife. We are quite fair also. Like we don't show a certain favor or a certain like we try to share our responsibilities lah basically. So I think that's maybe that's the reason why I don't really observe like some. Okay, I know the number three definitely happier to see the
Mama.
mother than me.
Yeah. That one is different. That one is
Confirm.
that one is a physical reaction that she's just not used. She's just everyday smell the mother, right? So it's different.
Yeah. So I mean, other than that, yeah, interestingly, because of just the situation that we are in now, right? They want the mom more, but then for things they still come to me lah.
The reason why I ask this is because like not say I mean I will say I feel a little bit slightly less loved than by my kid. But in a sense in not in a way that makes me love her less. I don't love her less because of it. But like for example, so every morning when she wakes up, now she sleeps in the same room as us. That's a story for another day. Sleep training fail basically when you come to Japan. She takes on the Japanese characteristics. Japanese people don't sleep train their kids. It's a anathema to them. They can't possibly fathom it. But anyway, so like when she wakes up in the morning, her routine is she wants like she'll be in a cot, right, and she will like demand mama come and pick her up, for example. So even if I try to pick her up, right, she will like dame. She'll say dame, which is like no, you're not allowed. So like I mean that's also part of like I think kids also tend to prefer routine, right? So
Yep.
if there is a routine that's already fixed in place, they try not to. They are very upset when the routine is upset by something, and that
Yes.
also includes the person who does the routine. So, but at the same time, like that I have very reaction. So the next thing is that she'll come to bed, and she'll like basically spend like 10 minutes sayanging my wife. She'll like kiss her and like do all the things. Then when I say, "What about Papa?" Then she'll look at me. No, yamete, yamete. Like stop it. Then I'll be like,
Oh.
okay, Sabishi, I'm so lonely. Then I'll just go and sleep. But I'll just like, okay, lah, whatever, lah. Like, I mean, at first I was a bit sad, but then I realized, okay, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I know she still loves me. It's just not, maybe it's not reflected in this situation. Yeah, but that's what prompted the question for me, because obviously there are times where like when I'm not around and like she cries, like maybe something like when I don't know you guys, when you shampoo your kid, then the soap gets in their eyes and they cry, right? Do you guys ever have that? Is that a thing?
Uh,
When they're young, like when they're young.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when she cry, right? Then like if I'm not at home, then my wife will tell me like when you're not home, she will straight away scream for you. It's like absence it makes the heart grow fonder, right? You're not
Oh,
around,
so
so
sad.
so in a sense, it's not like I know she loves me. It's not a question. It's just that I feel like, oh, why is the treatment? Even my daughter treats both of us differently. that's why I asked this question.
I think it's a phase though. Don't worry too much about it lah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
a phase Yeah, it's a phase where they'll grow out eventually, where somehow it's not so much about the person anymore. Yeah. So don't feel too bad about it.
Yeah,
Now.
yeah. At first, I was a bit like down about it. I was like, oh, what did I do? What am I not doing? What's my wife doing that I'm not doing? That makes it different. Because I spend more time with her. I basically spend the whole morning, almost all morning with her. But yeah, I think it's not in my control either, right? Like I said, okay, I know I'm a missionary, right? So I compare it to God, right? Because like I think this is how God feels, right? God like takes care of all of us. Then we just look at them. We just look at God and say, no, I don't want to spend time with you. Then we go do other things. So like I was like, okay, God, are you trying to tell me something? Is my daughter's treatment of me like a microcosm of what reality is actually like for you? But anyway, so uh yeah, thanks for answering these questions, man. I think it's good to get a different perspective about your kids. Actually, I heard from Marv about Kai Hong is that you also like Japan as a tourist destination.
Yeah.
When was the last time you came?
Our couple trip was in Japan. Like the one where we did just the two of us 10 days. Yeah, but after 10 days cannot have to go back already.
Just a few months ago only, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
The one where
Okay. When did you come and where did you go? I would like to know.
was it June, May, June, if I recall correctly. Yeah.
So spring.
We went Kyoto and Osaka. It was a good trip.
Best,
Yeah.
best. Not best, but one of the better times to come to Japan in terms of weather.
I think it was was cool lah.
It's
Okay.
end
End
of
of spring.
end of
Yeah.
spring going to summer.
Correct,
If you
correct.
come now,
It
you
was
die. You
It was
come
good
die.
weather. Oh yeah, no. We managed to catch the cherry blossoms. So when was that? Yeah. We
No,
managed to
that's early
Probably
May.
April
the
lah.
tail end.
Early May or late April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Osaka,
So the
Osaka
tail end.
gets.
Tail end.
Oh yeah.
No. Sorry, the start. The start when it started to bloom. That's where we went.
Oh, that means you went early then.
Mm,
Maybe even early
Earlier.
April.
Okay. Yeah, but it was a good trip, and I mean, the funny thing is that between me and my wife, I would plan the itinerary, but she would tell me where she wants to go. So I planned most of it lah. Actually, the food, the attractions, did most of it. Um, I think the best part was the food. Actually, if you ask me, Osaka and Kyoto, the best
That's
was
what
definitely.
that's a Singapore
Yeah.
answer. Everybody
But
gets
we didn't go to the Osaka. We didn't go to that food street. I don't know what's that street called.
Dotonbori.
Yeah,
Dotonbori,
we didn't hang out there a lot. So we just look for the other
It's okay lah.
outskirts type of
It's
food.
okay.
It's a
Dotonbori
tourist
is,
trap anyway.
Yeah, it's a tourist trap. So don't worry.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
You
$20
made the right
for
choice.
takoyaki, man.
20? Is 2,000 for takoyaki?
I don't know, man. I haven't been there in such a long time. I didn't even go there last time I was there. Yeah.
But man, the yen is in your favor, Shiok, right?
Yes.
Yeah, oh,
Finally.
super cheap. Everything is super cheap. We had a few omakase also. Oh, one omakase. Sorry, one omakase. It was a really
Like
good
sushi
experience.
style omakase? Counter sushi style?
No, they call it. They say it's kaiseki.
Oh, kaiseki, so Japanese
kaiseki.
traditional cuisine.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
With the there was a nabe involved, sashimi.
Yeah, so it's like
okay.
specific. Like I think there's a point in time where there's a soup. There's a point in
Yeah,
time where
yeah.
there's a
Did you do it at a ryokan or was it in a?
no.
It
It
was just
was
a kaiseki cuisine, separate.
proper. It's a restaurant itself. Yeah,
It's
I think it was
107
Tokyo.
now.
Yeah, 107.1 this morning when I checked.
Nice.
I'm
Previous-
hoping for it to hit 110 by September so I can buy my PS5 for really cheap.
I think when I went over it was 99. So now it's better lah.
It's a
Oh,
lot
it's
better.
it's
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 going up,
it's
man.
gonna it's gonna go up even more. I think.
Why? I
Why?
thought
Yen
it
is weak,
The
right?
Japanese
yen,
Yen is weak.
the yen, the
Yeah,
Japanese
Japanese
economy
economy
has
not
a
doing
lot
well.
has a lot of problems.
has the Chinese tourists been coming in?
Yes.
Oh,
That not just Chinese, just tourists in general have been coming in.
okay.
But I heard that in Tokyo now, like you walk in Ginza, I think you will see more
Tourists.
foreigners than
Yeah,
Japanese.
than Japanese.
Oh,
Where I stay in Sendai, so it's a city, one of the biggest cities. I think it's the eighth biggest city in Japan. There's about 1 million people here. But of course, nothing compared to the mega cities lah. Like compared to, it's like Japan is very funny because it's like the top four largest cities in Japan are all in Tokyo. So Tokyo, Saitama, Yokohama, and Chiba are like your top four cities, and they're all in the same area, all part of the Tokyo megacity, which are like, and then you have Osaka, obviously, and Kyoto, and then after that it's like a huge drop to like 1 million people per city already. So I stay in like it's a big city in terms of what is Japan, but obviously not compared to like Tokyo. But like there are foreigners here, obviously, but not in this. They're not here for leisure. They're here for work. Yeah, so it's a different experience. What did you do other than? For did you plan your itinerary around your food experiences?
no, not really lah, not really. I wouldn't say we did that. I planned the food around the itinerary. So I mean, we went to the standard stuff lah, the bamboo forest. We went to Universal Studios.
Or when you USS, the Harry Potter
Yeah, we
world
did.
and everything?
Yes.
How was it? Crowded.
It's actually crowded, but we bought the pass. So it's fast pass for selected rides. So it helps lah. It helps. Anyway, I tell you, one day is not enough, So we just go there. We just finish our fast pass, and that's done. I mean, it's still a good experience no matter what lah. And I think it's you can't expect yourself to finish everything. It's impossible in one day. Yeah. Other than that, we went to the deer park.
Oh, you
Yeah.
went to Nara.
Nara.
Okay.
They were surprisingly aggressive. Aggressive.
They're
That's
very
what I was going to
aggressive,
ask you.
yeah.
I was going to ask you next. Did you fall for the con and buy the bread to give to them? Buy the
Yeah. I bought.
So that I teach you. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a secret trick. Okay, when you go to Nara, you
Yeah.
don't the joy is not to feed the
Correct.
deer
It's to
because
watch.
it is dangerous. They are very aggressive. They'll come to you. They will like if you put in your pocket, right? They'll come and literally bite your pocket off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are
rip your
very
clothes.
they are very acclimatized to humans already because they see humans every day, right? And the humans just constantly feeding them food, right? So the fun part about going to Nara is to watch people get destroyed by the deer.
Yeah. Actually,
They were
right?
aggressive, man.
There's
They
there's
went to
another
bite
tip.
my. They went to bite my crotch.
Yeah, they'll bite
And
your
my
clothes.
friends
They'll bite
did it
your
now.
yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Walao, and I was like, what the hell, man? I
So
was
there's
angry,
another
man.
tip. If you want to like feed them, right? Don't do it at the entrance. You go all the way to the like the side or to the back of the park where it's still like park-ish, but there are like much lesser deer there. And then you feed them there when there's like only one or two of them. Then they'll be a lot less aggressive also. Because you don't have to fight with other deer. Yeah. So that's what I did. Yeah.
Yeah, no, my wife and I, when we went there for honeymoon, we just watch people get bitten. We're just laughing at the corner. We take photos of the deer, like selfie, pretend to take selfies, and then the next of photos is just videos of people getting destroyed by deer.
When I was there, I saw this lady's paper bag get destroyed. Like the deer just bite the paper bag and just ripped it apart. It was damn funny.
Oh, shit. I'm so afraid to bring my kids there, leh. But
Oh,
then I
I
need to
don't. Yeah, I mean you can bring them, but don't buy the food, lor.
Yeah, don't buy the food. Yeah, just let them watch.
But the thing is that when you bring your kids, they want to feed, lah. That's the other thing.
Yeah. So what you
Yeah.
do
You
is
go
you
see
go all the
deer.
way to the end. You go all the way to the side and to the end. Yeah.
Because when you see pictures, you think to yourself, oh, so the deer so cute. It must be very gentle when they come to you and then you feed them, right? That's how you think, right? But then when you actually go there, it's like, whoa, these are demons. These are
Yes,
demons.
no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you know Nara is actually the original capital of Japan? This is like where the Japanese people started off.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
based on their history, lah. Like Nara is the original capital of like 3,000 years ago, very very long ago. But anyway, I digress. Um, do you have a favorite like food in Japan?
Mm, actually, probably. The Tokyo. Sorry, the Kyoto and Osaka experiences, because Kyoto and Osaka had a lot of cooked food, but my Tokyo experience was a lot of raw food. So Osaka and Kyoto actually allowed me to experience the difference, a different side of Japanese food lah. To be very honest, yeah, I think we had very good yakitori. First time I had very good. Basically, every part of the chicken, right, is being used and skewered. Like I think
Oh,
that's
so did you have a omakase yakitori?
no leh, no.
So like
Order one,
they,
order.
oh, okay. But
Mm.
they you eat all the different parts, like the
But
gizzard, the liver,
yeah,
the skin.
yeah, we just ordered every different thing lah. Every different thing. Yeah. So and everything was so well prepared. Like there's no smell. It tastes good. It's well salted. Yeah. Because if I didn't go to Kyoto and Osaka, then my in my mind, right, Japanese food is just
All
sushi.
raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, raw food, right? Yeah,
That's the
but
common conception that people have, lah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Did you manage to eat kushikatsu? It's like
No.
it's a Osaka specialty. It's like they deep fry the skewer. Did you
Oh no
see?
leh, I didn't. I
Yeah, it's
didn't.
okay. I mean, and then I guess you had okonomiyaki there as well. Did you
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
okonomiyaki? But
Yeah,
did
I
you
think
also
it's
have mojoyaki and negiyaki? There's like different versions of
no.
okonomiyaki.
Wow. Well, next time, right? I go to Japan, I must ask you to show me where.
Yeah, yeah. No problem. I mean, I have not been to Osaka and Kyoto in a long while, but like the different specialties. So okonomiyaki is mainly made of there's like the olua flour, right? And then mostly cabbage. That's the liao. The negiyaki is like, do you like spring onions like chong?
Yes.
Negiyaki, so that becomes your cabbage.
Yeah. I had
Oh.
And then
nekiyaki on the
negiyaki,
first day. Remember, you
yeah,
recommended to me.
yeah. But
Oh,
that's
so
if
you
you
have
must like
variant.
chong lah. Yes, they're variants. And then mojoyaki uses like a mochi base. So it's a very chewy
More like
okonomiyaki.
sticky and like
Yeah.
stringy, I guess.
Yeah, base it's from Hiroshima. So you can try
I'm going
different
Hiroshima.
styles.
I'm going Hiroshima this.
Yeah, Hiroshima is famous for
Yeah. So I guess I'll try it when I'm there.
Yeah.
Because I
Cool.
think I can't. The restaurant that for Okonomiyaki, the restaurant I went to was one of the long queue ones. There's a branch at Dotonbori. I think is it? I just really can't remember
I
the
think
name.
I think I probably have it somewhere also, but I don't think okonomiyaki has a very big differentiation factor in my opinion. Like I
Oh.
think most okonomiyaki like they taste good. Most okonomiyaki taste good, whether it's from like a chain store or like a elite, very famous store.
Yeah, because I don't remember having those options available. Those mochi option and the spring onion option.
Yeah, and maybe it's just a specialty shop like okonomiyaki only. Did you manage to also eat I guess because you go Osaka and Kyoto, right? Did you eat wagyu?
Ah, I had one place where I went for like the sukiyaki style wagyu. Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay,
was, it
okay.
was okay. I mean, I felt like the beef there, I can find equivalents in like Rubicon. Like I mean, of course, it's not as
Yeah,
good
yeah, yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
But the
as
price also is different, lah.
Okay,
yeah,
you
yeah,
must
yeah,
you
yeah,
must
yeah.
come visit me next time. I bring
Yeah.
you eat.
Oh, the
Uh,
correct, right? The correct beef.
no,
is-
not correct, but like I have a butcher shop that's here. Basically,
Ah,
the butcher that's near me, the amount of wagyu beef I buy is cheaper than my supermarket Angus beef, like your normal beef.
what?
Like
The
the other time
quality of the meat.
yeah, like that. It's wagyu, so it's literally wagyu. So the other time, just recently, I cook because I cannot have mala xiangguo. Do you eat mala xiangguo? The dried mala. So obviously, there's no mala xiangguo here. At least not in where I live. So I have to make my own, right? So I'm spoiled. So instead of using like regular beef, I use wagyu beef for my mala xiangguo. So but
Wow.
recently, my butcher was closed that day, so I just bought regular beef at my regular supermarket. And then Marianne looked at me, and we were both disappointed. But I looked at her and said, "We are totally spoiled." Like, can you imagine you ask people to put wagyu beef in your mala xiangko? Just the concept is like ridiculous. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. I think wagyu beef is quite expensive if you eat at high-end restaurants. And
Yeah,
a bit overrated.
it was super expensive lah. But I mean, for the price, I felt like I could get a similar quality in Singapore lah. That's what I felt lah.
Hey Marv, I found a proper yakiniku place. Not at my house, but like at a proper yakiniku place that's really cheap
Nice.
for its price.
You go next time.
Yeah, go next time. Did you ever travel with your kids to Japan before?
Yes. Tokyo. So I went to Tokyo. So I went to Japan twice. My first trip was with my number one. Yeah, that was the Tokyo trip, but it was a nightmare. Yeah, the time she was still very small lah. If you ask me, we chose Osaka and Kyoto for our couple trip because we felt like that was where we could really enjoy the food. Because if you have kids, right, you can't really enjoy the food. You can't really go
Yeah.
to the places that you want to go.
Yes, you cannot.
Correct,
you cannot go to eat omakase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Wherever you're going, you're just like racing to finish and then racing to feed them, and then you want to leave.
Racing
then
to
you
bring
gotta
them
leave.
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. So the Tokyo trip was like Disneyland, and then like udon every other meal.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh my gosh! Oh,
Unfortunately.
wait, Marv, did you know he was going to Japan before, like in March?
Yeah. I knew.
Did you not give him Harukoma?
I
Did
gave
you
him
give
Harukoma, bro.
He didn't go.
He didn't
Which
go.
one is no? Which one? Sorry.
It was the hole in the wall kind of sushi place. I think I sent you the link.
no.
Yeah, but you all didn't get. I
no.
think you didn't get a chance to go.
Osaka, or Kyoto.
Osaka.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
It
It's
was
okay.
recommended
Next
by
time.
Ian actually.
I see.
Yeah. And now if you ever go Osaka, I'm sure Marv will go there.
I mean, we're going there, right? We're
It's
meeting
yeah.
there. We're having
it's
our
not yeah.
We're gonna meet there for.
It's not even a
lunch.
question. Like it's a place that like when we went there, like okay, I think Marv and was it Chris and Kwan? We went together, right?
No, I went
Three of you?
with my cousin. I went with.
He went.
Kwan.
He went with his cousin, and I think they hit it once, and they were all like, this is like the most amazing.
It
like
was so good. Yeah.
one of the most amazing meals I've ever had.
Okay,
And then they had to.
I wouldn't say it's the best sushi in the world, but it's the best sushi for that price. It's so cheap. And then we ordered like entire tray of like premium unagi, not just regular unagi, like premium unagi, one entire tray. And the cost is like, I don't know, 1/4 what you pay in Singapore. So we literally, they literally brought out like a tray of it. And then 4 of us, we just whack everything.
Yeah, and then they had the gall to say like, oh, we don't want to go. I know Kwan said right. His cousin said, maybe we shouldn't go.
My
again.
cousin and my wife said, so I wanted to go again. Me and my cousin's wife wanted to go again before the trip ended. And then my cousin and my wife said, no, we shouldn't go. We need to like keep this memory of this place like in our heads and not like spoil it. So I was like, okay lah, you all stay back in the hotel. Me and my cousin-in-law, we go lah. Then they were like, no, we gotta go. So after that,
So stupid, right? They just had the most amazing meal. They can go back again, but they say no, it's okay. We must preserve this memory. And now when they went the second time, they just ordered the stuff they liked.
yes,
Because the first time you went, you order as
we
much
ordered like
variety
we
as you
tried
want.
as much as possible. Yeah,
And the portions is really big. Like usually sushi, like
Huge.
when nigiri sushi, right? It's like they give you the rice. I don't know. In Japan, they're not so stingy, lah. But maybe in Singapore, they're a bit more stingy. They give you like a lot of rice, but the sushi like just like
Yeah.
barely covers the rice kind. This one is like a little bit of sushi rice, and then the whole rice is like
That's the correct way. That's the right way for sushi to be prepared, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like my wife we've been in Japan for like almost 1.5 years. Like she's just salivating at the thought of going back to this sushi restaurant already. It's like she must go back. So
it's not even a restaurant. It's more of like a
yeah.
eatery.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a counter. There's a counter space, but there's also some tables at the side.
Yeah.
I think that you can.
It's a very chill place. Yeah.
Yeah. So Marv is coming in a few weeks. 3 more weeks.
2 more weeks. 2 more weeks.
What are you most looking forward to when you come?
Wow, definitely the food lah. I mean, I go to Japan so often it's because of the food, right? I'm looking forward to trying that number 1 rated ramen that Chris was talking about.
What's it called again?
I can't remember the name, but I need
What
to
is
check it out.
What is this? What kind of ramen does it serve? Do you know?
think it's. Wow, I can't remember. Is it pork?
It's not. It's tonkotsu. It's not tsukemen.
Oh wait,
It's
no,
just-
no, it's chicken based, right? He said it's
Oh,
chicken based, right?
Tori soba.
Yeah.
tori paitan.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Chicken based soba. There's one chicken based soba long queue in Osaka that I went to. They call it
Is it?
tori soba.
Oh, it's not chuka soba. Ah, okay, okay, yeah, yeah. So actually, in Japan, one thing you realize that you see the word soba, right? Actually, it's interchangeable with the word ramen. They just
Oh, is
call it.
it?
Yeah, yeah. So like you will see this,
Oh.
you will see this kanji. It will say chuka soba. What it just means is chuka soba is actually just the yellow noodles that the Chinese people from China, the yellow like the mi, kind of like a mix between mee pok and mee kia. But like mee kia is very thin, right? But this is like
Yeah,
a bit thicker,
Yeah,
but it's not flat, not like mee pok. So, but when you see soba, generally it means a ramen shop. It's just they don't call it ramen. But it's you when you eat when they serve you, you'll be like, oh, this is ramen. Yeah. So also that's the one you're gonna try. Dude, that one. What's the booking system? Do you know?
The one you go there and you write your name on the time slot. Yeah. So
If you
I'll go early lah. I'll go like 2 hours before it opens and write my name.
see whether it holds a candle to kikambo.
Oh, Kikambo is another. It's like
Do you like ramen, Kai?
Yeah, definitely. We queued
Yeah.
like for an hour for this tori soba taste. I was just
Was it good?
mentioning. No, the funny thing is I went there, then because I thought I can queue first, then I bring my friends over. But then when I reached at the door already, right, then they say, hey, sorry, where are your friends? Then your friends are not here, right? I say, sorry, we don't. Yeah, then they asked me to go back to the back.
Oh no.
I
Oh,
tried to
no.
explain to them, but no, I did that because they said that it's not fair. I mean, they keep using the Google Translate. They say it's not fair. It's not fair. That's unfortunate, lah. So then after that, we came back another day to queue. But it was yeah, it was good. It was good. I mean, it actually was a very gao chicken broth. It's not like tonkatsu. It's chicken broth.
so it's
So
like
it
the
was a
Ginza Kagari
different-
type lah, Chu.
Yep, it's a tori paitan. Like paitan is a white broth. Paitan is really paitang. That's the Chinese word. Paitang, tori paitan. Chicken, like ji paitang is the actual Chinese translation of the word, but they call it tori paitan. Yeah, but they basically boil the chicken broth together with the bones and the collagen, so it turns white. So it's like it's very gao. It almost tastes like a tonkotsu thick pork bone broth, but obviously it's chicken flavor. But it's nice because I think even though it's gao, I don't know how was your experience, Kai. You can correct me. Was it gao, but you can still eat the whole thing without
Yes,
feeling
yes,
too
yes.
bad, right? Not
Yeah.
like tonkotsu, you eat the whole thing, you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. So I only had two ramen experiences. One is a tori soba, and one is I think the standard Ichiran, which So but I mean,
Next
You know,
time,
I mean, it's
next time don't go
not
Ichiran.
bad.
Just let us know and then we'll tell you where to queue.
Yeah, depending on which city you go to, I can recommend. Okay, so my favorite ramen is Kikambo in Tokyo. So if you ever go to Tokyo, you can try this ramen place called Kikambo. I think it's me, Marv's, and probably Chris's like our go-to place. Like when you go to Tokyo, if you don't go there, it's like it's a waste. You didn't go to Tokyo at all. But I want to share with you guys, and if you ever go and you're interested in eating, Japanese actually use an app called Tabelog for their food. It's like Yelp. But obviously, what do Singapore use? No, they use Yelp. What do we use? To review Google.
Burple,
Use Burple
yeah, stuff like that lah.
to review food places. But actually, Singapore is more word of mouth lah. Generally, Singaporeans is like
Yeah.
friends recommend you must go this place, you must go this place. Then go there eat, not good. Then standard drop. Okay, but anyway, so this one is they use an app called Tabelog. So Tabelog. LOG. I don't. Is there an English version?
I don't know.
Marv, do you know?
it's called
But-
table log. I when I was doing
you
research,
use it?
it keeps popping up.
Yeah. So it's actually Tabelog. Like tabe is to eat.
Tabe is eat, yeah.
Tabe is to eat, and then log is like a log, like of your record of things.
Oh,
So it's tabe log, and then so Japanese people are very catchy. They're more stingy with their reviews. You read Google, you're like, 4.8 stars upon 5, right?
Yeah.
So tabe log operates on a 5-star review, but if a store is anything above 3.5, right?
Yep. High
It
cheese
is considered a must. You
it's like
must
a 4
go and eat
plus 4.8. It's basically you just plus
So-
1.
that's what I realized when I was doing research. I was like, why is this only 3.5 stars?
Yeah, Humabara is
Yeah,
crazy.
understand.
Humabara is like another level. Humabara is like a good restaurant. You have to go eat. Anything above 3.7 is like this is you have to probably have to queue. You probably have to make a booking and everything. So I recommend you can use Tabelog when you're in your own country and you're searching where to eat in Japan. A lot of these places, I would say, maybe 10 years ago, you need to have a friend to call to book for you if you want to book a reservation, especially for the high end restaurants. If you want to eat omakase or you want to eat more high end restaurants. But nowadays, if you use Tabelog, a lot of it allows you to book online. So you can kind of skip the whole like need a friend to call for you. Yeah. So although for you only, if you ever want to book something in Japan, you can let me know. I can book for you. Only for you. Don't,
Yay!
our listeners, unless your family, sorry, I'm not gonna help you. You can try yourself. But yeah, for Kai, you thanks for joining our show today. I'll give you a free pass for anything you want to book in Japan.
Yay!
Yeah. Um Yeah. So, anything else you guys want to talk about, or I think we kind of covered like a lot of a big range of topics from like what we enjoy watching, our kids, Japan, work-life balance, that sort of thing.
No, not really. I'm good. Think we can have Kai back in the future. Maybe when he has his fourth kid.
No, 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 please, bro. Walao.
Then we will go to him and we'll give our condolences. No, just kidding. We'll just go to him and hug him and be like, it's okay. It's okay. Next time, don't drink so much whiskey, okay?
Yeah, no, yeah. But number two is good. Please try for number two, guys. Please.
Actually, okay, I was gonna ask you a question actually. I watched this Chris Rock like this comedy sketch, and he said that having two kids is actually better than having one kid, because he said that when you have one kid, right, you are the show. You have to entertain your kid. But when you have two kids, you turn from the show, you become an usher, because the two kids entertain themselves. So you just kind of like make sure they can hang out together and enjoy their time together. Do you think this is true?
This is definitely true, bro. Please. Yeah, and yeah, no lah. It's a different experience, one and two. And two gets much, 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 much easier than the one. Yeah.
Economies of
As in,
scale.
as in raising number two is no,
Just
it's
the level
raising
of stress.
two is not easier
Level.
than one, but raising the second child is easier than raising than the first child. Is that what you mean?
No, actually,
Or you
okay,
think two
okay.
is easier
Maybe
than
okay.
one?
Economically, of course, two is more expensive than one. But then the just the stress level of having two kids around rather than one, I think I feel like it's a very different dynamic. Like it's not so much about you dealing with one. Now you have that sibling dynamic that you're dealing
Yeah,
with.
they play together
Yeah.
kind of thing, right?
Yeah, correct. So you it's not so focused on just me and my kid. It's like now you and the sister, how you gonna deal with it. So I don't know. It actually alleviates less, so that it's less stressful on the parents. Like, in my opinion,
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
Chris Rock said really resonates with you. It's true to
Oh
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the way he puts it is quite true. Yeah, you're now an usher. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I would love to thank you, but you have to convince my wife. So, but it's okay. We'll see. I think it's. I mean, there's also the idea of like having a second and having a sibling also trains your kids in different ways, right?
Yes.
It gives them different life experiences. Although Marv is an only child. Are you an only child, Kai?
No, no, I have a brother. I have a brother.
Oh, and you have a stepsister as well, right? But that's different,
Ah, yeah,
because you
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
grow up. You didn't. Did you grow up with your stepsister, or were you
No,
no?
no, no, no.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So I
So
grew up with my brother. Then my
yeah.
sister is much younger.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks for the. Okay. Maybe I end off with this question, because recently I bought I'm because my wife's birthday is coming up, so I bought for her a gift. But I don't know whether it's just our personalities are practical. My person is more practical, but my thought is that if I'm buying something a bit more expensive for my wife, I can't read my wife's thoughts. Of course, I would like to choose whatever that she likes, but nowadays I just ask my wife like, "Oh, I want to buy you this. Can you decide what you want? Like, do you like this? And then if you like, you tell me what you want, then I'll go and buy for you." Of course, some people say, that's not romantic, but after 7 years of marriage, it's like I'd rather buy the right thing and be unromantic than buy the wrong thing and be like, you never use it ever again. Do you guys are you on the same scale as me, or do you do the other thing?
We just celebrated my wife's birthday. I said, "Hey, we haven't gone to this dinner place yet. Let's go lah." Then I just book. Then I mean, like, it's like it's not a surprise anymore lah. But we still enjoy ourselves. the company that counts.
Oh, so you're more on my side where it's like you do like it's
Yeah.
better to
Just,
plan something that you enjoy together than to like
mm,
surprise.
yeah. But I think she still says she loves surprises lah. I mean, once in a while, I'll
Yeah.
try.
I agree also. Like, if I plan a surprise, it's more of an experience, or it's a dinner or something like that. So my wife's birthday also just passed last month. Then I surprised her by bringing her to Rubicon lah. Yeah, like I booked
Was that with
Rubicon.
Was that with Mare?
Yes.
That was the one that she ate the
Yes.
shop, is it?
Yes, that's the one with Mary and my parents lah. So in terms of gifts, like we don't really buy gifts in that sense. It's more of like, if I see something that I think she would like, I would just get it for her. Doesn't have to be like a special occasion. Yeah.
But
Mm.
we don't get gifts also. So our love language is quality time.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
my wife's love language is quality time. But my love language is
You
gifts.
you give gifts, right?
As
And
in,
she-
no, I like to receive gifts.
Oh,
She
okay.
likes to have quality time. So I think for me, it's a lot easier to give her the gift of quality time. Whereas for her,
Yeah.
she's like, what you want, Every time you need to buy things for you, what you want.
Also, do you like surprises, Marv?
Actually, I don't. I don't really care about surprises.
Yeah, he wants the right item.
I just want the stuff that I want. Like,
Oh,
like she bought me Diablo 4 for my birthday. I'm like, don't need to surprise. Just buy me Diablo 4. Thank you.
I will love you more.
Yeah.
Don't need to buy.
Easy.
Don't need to surprise me.
Gamers very easy
Yeah.
buy gifts. Buy gifts. Buy gifts on, right? Just, what's the next game coming out that you want? Okay, I'll buy for you. Settle already.
Do you guys drop hints to your wife like, oh,
I do.
I want this.
So
Okay.
I tell you the story. So there's something that I really wanted for my birthday or Father's Day, whatever. In May they really, oh, she's coming to the room. In May they released the Lego collector series.
Okay. Well, she bought it for
For-
you already, so it's that already.
Wait. For the X-Wing. So the last time that they released an X-Wing was like, I don't know, 10 years ago. So recently I kind of got back into Lego, or rather I'd never been to Lego, so I started like buying Lego. So I really wanted it, but it's pretty expensive. It's like $300 over. But it's one of those like limited edition kind of things. Like once it's done, you can't get it again really. So I was like, I showed her like, hey, this one quite nice, coming out soon, around quite near my birthday also. Then she was like, oh yeah. Where are you gonna put it though? It's so big. Then I was like, don't know, see how. And then my birthday comes and Father's Day comes, and then she gets me Diablo 4 instead. So I was like, now I'm buying it on my own then. So I got it for myself.
Hint drop.
yeah. I think you shared it in the
Yeah.
chat, right? I remember.
I even like
Yeah.
open it and then I put it on my phone, right? Like the page. Then I put it on the table in between us a few times, like over dinner. Then I keep looking at it.
She obviously doesn't want you to get it. That's why. That's why she asked you. Well, you ain't got space to put it.
It's
That's
either she didn't get it or she get it but she ignored me. But I think she didn't get it.
No, I feel like when a wife says where you gonna put it, it's just a straight away like there's no space in the house to buy it. It's like to me it's a very clear cut answer. Where you gonna put it?
That's why in the end I
I'm
didn't put it
sure she's more sensitive.
on. No, actually she's in the room now. She said she didn't get it.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's okay lah. She got me Diablo 4.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, thanks Kai for coming on. It was really enjoyable. I really had a good time chatting with you, Marv too as well. I hope you had fun. Well, we tend to invite back guests again, especially if we had a good chat with them. So we'll probably ask you back again. Hopefully, you guys will be still playing Lost Ark. Well, maybe not. Who knows?
If the
So
servers
thank
don't close down by then lah.
Oh, are they going to close down?
No,
No,
as in the number of players are dropping lah. So you never know this kind of thing.
But any shout outs you want to give or anybody?
Shout
For
out
Kai
to our
especially?
red team. Got to clear account before I go to Japan. Okay.
Okay, so you have how many days to clear before you go to
So it
Japan? 3
launches
days?
on Wednesday, and then I'm flying on Saturday morning. Yeah.
Okay, and how is it feasible to clear a raid in 3 days?
Yeah. It's possible.
bro.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what the raid cycle
This
is
one is
like.
easier than the previous raid that came out.
Because you guys are following the Korean MMO cycle, right? So it's already been done in Korea, right?
Yes.
So you
So
just follow
all
the
the strats are
right?
out. Yeah. So we can just. Yeah,
Okay. So you don't need to it's not like Destiny to figure out the raids.
yeah
right?
we don't
you
have
just
to
you
figure
know
it
the
out. Yeah.
okay. but you still need to grind to get it, right? Or you don't need to grind already?
We
We
are
need-
all at that level already, lah, actually.
Okay.
As in, sorry, when you say grind, I mean we need to
So yes,
grind
you
the
had to
rate.
grind, lah.
Yeah,
Grind
as in,
the
what I
rate.
mean, what I mean is that you don't have to like upgrade your level or your
Oh, no,
gear
no,
to
no.
get
No,
to the
we are-
your rate ready.
Our
Yeah,
our
we
group
ready.
is ready already, lah. Actually, we are forming like 3 groups,
3 groups.
Yeah.
Mm.
Got a lot of
Okay.
hardcore players in our static.
What's your rate group or your community called? We can plug that.
I don't know why I named it the way it's called.
Just
SG Lost Ark.
SG Lost Ark,
Yeah, just SG Lost
but
Ark.
it's made up of people, not just from SG.
It's
lah.
fine. It's
Yeah.
it's descriptive. It's people understand. This is the SG Lost Ark group.
Yeah, I named it Less G because I wanted people within the same time zone.
Yeah.
So they know it's GMT
So we
plus
changed to GMT plus 8 Lost Ark.
Yeah. Oh, I cannot join. I'm JT plus 9. Anyway, I cannot join, so my internet so tsui. All right. Anyway, for those of you who are listening from home, you guys know. Follow us on Instagram, Twitch, and on Facebook at Two Gamer Dads. Thanks for coming, Kai. Once again, we'll see you guys next time on the Two Gamer Dads podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.